Good evening. Good evening. How are we doing? Welcome to the Low Life. I'm Paul from Paul's Beer Reviews. How are we? Decided to do a off the cuff live stream. Haven't done one for a few weeks, and yeah, been busy. So I thought I'd pop on and say hello. How are we? I hope we're doing well. I just realised I sit here and I do that 30-second countdown thing every time. I think I just got into the habit of doing it now. I sit there looking at it, watching it count down, thinking I might as well be talking right now, but I do it every time. Madness, the things we do. We've got a few of you in already, which is fantastic. Hello, Mark Jones is in. Wherefore out there, you ginger natter? Hello, Mark. How are you, sir? Big thumbs ups and a cheers to you, my friend. How are you? Hope you're well. Sobieski is in. Hello, mate. Sobieski's here. Evening all. How are you, buddy? Thank you for joining us. How are you doing? How are you? What's happening? Mark says evening, Sobieski. Asking the first K. Garrett is in. Hello, Garrett. What's up, Paul? Long time no see. Yep, tell me about it. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Joe Morris is in. He's on the San Miguel tonight. Why not? Why not? What's this, Garrett? He isn't here yet. He's here now. He's here now. Sobieski's talking to Mark. Cat to meet is in. Cat to meet. How are you, sir? All right, you big ginger sexy Viking. How you doing, fella? How are you, my friend? How are you? Matt Hall is in. Hello, Matt. How you doing, buddy? Look at these names. The old school lot are in. This is fantastic. Erdinger Dunkel, very nice. Very nice. Cat to meet, saying hello to everyone. Mark Jones saying good to hear Sobieski. I'm going to get a beer down me because I've been pulling pints all afternoon and now I fancy one. And I'm going big. I'm going to Wales and I'm going with Polly's and I'm going for a double IPA, double gold, 8% ABV. Hopped with Citra, Galaxy, Idaho 7, Nelson Sauvin, and Strata. I mean, this is going to be mental, isn't it? Surely. A Polly's double IPA should be good. Should be good. Let's get it into a glass. See if it's as good as I hope it is. Give it a wriggle. I for a bit of sediment at the bottom of this one, surely. Doesn't look like it. Can't see any floaters. But never mind. John Morris says England did well the other day. What's that in reference to? Is it cricket? What's going on with the cricket? I'll be honest. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched a bowl. I haven't watched a single game of it. I haven't watched a bit of it. Not interested. Never been a cricket fan. David Wilson says hello, David. How are you, mate? How are you? Hope you well. Gareth says got to stop at the store, get some voodoos. Some voodoos. Mark says Mr. Wilson is in the house. Just found that local brewery to be opening a bar/shop right by me. That's dangerous, isn't it? That is dangerous. That is dangerous. Sounds like a killer IPA. I hope so. I hope so. I mean, look at that. Colour of that bad boy. Oof. Just looks like pure juice, doesn't it? Oh, it's got a cracking aroma on it. Cracking aroma, I'll give it that. Polly's are smashing it at the moment. They really are. But I don't think I've ever had a double IPA from them, so I'm interested to get stuck into this one. So here's the first one of the night. Cheers. Oh my goodness, that's good. That's really good. John Morrissey in reference to the football. Is that the women's football? Again, women's football, mate. I'm not watching that. Got no time for it. I've spent my whole life watching blokes football. I can't watch theirs as well. That's their job. We got a guest. Boom. There he is.
Oi, oi.
Oi. How's you, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, you?
Yeah, good. I'm good. I will crank up the volume. You're a bit quiet. There we go.
Yeah, I need to turn mine up, actually.
See if that works. Yeah, no, I didn't watch the women's football. I'm assuming that's the one you're talking about, but yeah, no. Women's football, Chris, are you a follower?
I struggle with it. I did watch a game the other day. I watched Denmark, China, and I did find it a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
I find the commentary a struggle. I suppose because we've got so used to men's football over the years, and I'm not knocking women's football. I'm all for it. I just struggled with it. I just found that the tempo of the women's game is just so different from the men's, and
Yeah.
that's what I struggled with. And Rachel doesn't really watch much football, but she was watching it with me, and even Rachel was like, "This is just so slow,"
Mm.
and that was a difference for me. I just find it a bit too slow.
Yeah.
It hasn't got the tempo. But there's no dramatics like you get in the men's game. The women go down, they get back up. There was no diving or anything like that. So that I quite liked, but I just find the tempo of it a bit too slow.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I can't. I'm all for it. If women playing football is brilliant. It's great, but I can't dedicate time to watching it. I just can't. I've been watching football my whole life, and now I've got to start watching women's football as well. It's like, come on, it's not fair. It's not fair. Give me a break. Give me a break. This is what the women should be watching.
Yeah,
Rather than watching your Love Islands and the Kardashians and all that, go watch
yeah,
the football. Go do that.
absolutely.
Go
Yeah,
do that. You get behind it. You know what I mean? Women are supposed to be the more intelligent sex, but we're all watching football. We get behind something, and they all watch stuff with women slagging
yeah,
each other off. So, no,
yeah,
this is for the women. I'm sorry, but it is. It's for the women. If they
yeah,
can't get behind the World Cup, then it's doomed, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. And I do think it'd be a successful World Cup for women's football. There's so many more kids that I know, or girl kids that I know, that are now playing football, as certainly as a result of England, the women's England in the Euros and things, and I think it's fantastic.
Mm.
Um, yeah, maybe more people should get behind it, but I just struggle with it. But I am all for it, and I hope it's successful. I
Yeah,
just struggle watching it.
yeah. For women,
Yeah,
like they
yeah,
should get behind this.
yeah.
They should get behind this. So any women watching this right now, go watch the World Cup because I'm not. So
And
there
if
you
and if it continues growing and it continues being a success, then they absolutely deserve the same equal rights in terms of pay and everything else. If it gets to those sorts of heights of the men's game, then fair play to them. All
yeah,
for it.
yeah. Yeah, I watch a lot of Bill Burr. I've said it before on this channel. I'm a big fan of Bill Burr, American comedian, and he did a bit on this. Funnily enough, on his last stand up show, and he was saying how there was a female soccer player on TV, and she was saying, "Oh, I don't understand, why don't we get paid as much as the men's soccer players?" And he was saying how like the two men in the studio were like pretending that they didn't know, like pretending they didn't have the answer for it. And Bill Burr is like, because no one's watching it. No one's
Yeah,
watching it.
exactly. It's
Because
just
like
not that big yet.
no one's there. No one's watching it. The stadiums are empty. No one's watching it. So it's just
Yeah,
like you can't demand the money that the men do because there's no
no,
money behind it. You
no,
know,
exactly.
this is where the women have they got to go after it. They've got to demand tickets. They've got to go watch it. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
I hope it continues to grow, but at the moment I just have zero interest. I'll
no.
be honest. I've not watched the kick. I didn't watch England win the Euros. Was it last year? Year
Yeah,
before?
I didn't watch that either, to be
Didn't
fair.
watch a kick. I couldn't give a toss. It's just for me. It's a completely different sport. It is, and it's
Yeah, it is
I
a different
can't.
story.
Yeah. So there you
It,
go.
it is. I agree with that.
Oh yeah, but yeah, this is lovely. This is lovely. It's a cracker. I don't know why I expected anything other, but yeah, lovely double IPA from Polly's. That's cracking. Very very good. Very good. Anyone seen the new Indy Jones movie? First
I
one I've
can't.
not gone to the cinema to see.
I can't do it. I can't bring myself to go and watch an Indiana Jones movie. He's too old for it, in
Yeah,
my opinion. He's too old. It's all been done many times before. Why does Harrison Ford need to bring that character back? I just can't. No, I can't go and see that.
they they,
Simple as
they
that.
tried. I went to see the last one. They did one. Was it about 10 years ago or something? They did one called The Crystal Skull.
Maybe.
They did an Indiana Jones film. I went to see that, and that was meh. I can't remember what happened in that. So
No.
why have they decided to do another one years later when he's like a decade older again? I just don't get it.
Yeah, he's an old he's an old man. When you
Yeah,
look at it, he is an old man. his age says he's an older man, and if he can still run around and do all that stuff, all credit to him. But that genre of film is done. It was big in the 80s, a little bit in the 90s, and that's where it should stay, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's one of the issues with cinema and full stop in it that they've not got the balls to do anything original for fear of just losing tons and tons of money. They just have to keep remaking and doing sequels and remake. It's just it's boring. It's boring.
But that's all been brought on by the streaming services, isn't it? Like Amazon Prime TV, Netflix, etc. There's such big hits on Netflix.
Yeah,
you're right. People are scared to try and release a big new film because there's so much on the streaming services that are raking in the money, and putting something in the cinema costs far more. So I get it. I do get it. But you can't keep reinventing these old classic films. You just can't do it.
No, they're never as good as what they were. It's just leave it alone. All these 80s franchises and things that they're trying to bring back in there. It's just come on, let it go.
Yeah.
No, not good. Trilby Phil, how are you, sir?
Ethan Trilby.
Happy day, mail, mate. So it looks like custard. It does look a bit like custard, doesn't it? That is a pint of custard right there. That is hot custard. But it's very good. Very good. Has it got that kind of astringent, overly sweet flavour that you often get with some double IPAs? They've done a good one there. That's not bad at all. Got that on Trembling Madness, and I think I paid about £5 for it. That's not too bad.
Nice looking can, that.
Yeah, they've gone for the black and gold, which is always a nice colour scheme, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a different approach for Polly's, that. I know it's got their big logo on the front as normal, but the actual can art is quite different for Polly's.
They tend to go quite floral, don't they, and things like that. Have the teardrop at the front. Beardy Beard, Brett, how are you, sir? How are you, buddy? Hope you're well. Welcome along. What's everyone drinking, by the way? Got 24 of us in. Is anyone having a beer on a Sunday evening? Is it winding down now? Back to work tomorrow? I've got a day off tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm having a day off. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm on a Lidl beer. Well, it's a Thornbridge brewed for Lidl. It says brewed for Lidl on the back, and it's their cacao chocolate stout.
I've not seen that one before.
£1.79. It's actually very, very good.
Wow.
Yeah, it is actually very good.
What's the ABV on that one?
4.5. It says it's a chocolate stout. It absolutely is a chocolate stout. It is silky smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really nice. For £1.79, I'll definitely go and get some more of those. I was going to review it, but I haven't. I've decided to open it. But yeah, really, really nice. In Lidl.
Cacao. There you go. That's the first I've heard of it. So there you go. Breaking news. A decent Thornbridge stout in Lidl. That is a big deal. And at 4.5% as well. So that's quite an approachable ABV as well. So that ticks a few boxes.
Yeah, it's really nice. Really good.
Nice. Jimmy C is in. How are you doing, brother? How are you, sir? Too many meats, like all the others. First couple were the best. Yeah, the indie films. Yeah, it was good back in the day, but it's not worth it now. Beer Dog is in. Hello, mate. How you doing, brother? How are you? Hope you're well. What are you drinking? Captain Meets had a lovely beer on Friday night in Albert Scholes in Liverpool at Crombacher Hells. Unbelievable. Crombacher Hells is a classic. It's a blooming good beer. I had last time I had a draft pint of that was in Belfast about a year ago. Probably about a year ago to the day. I was in a pub called the John Hewitt, which I believe is now a Boundary tap room. But I had Crombacher Pills on draft in there, and it was cracking. Beautiful. You know, like every time you take a mouthful of beer, there's like a nice white line sticks to the glass, and it just works its way down. It's just that unmistakable quality. It's a bit like when we have Warsteiner at the Globe. It just follows you down. It's just absolute class.
Yeah, it is.
Garrett says, cheers, everyone. Beardy says hello to Chris.
Evening, Brett.
Captain, oh, David Wilson's seen it. I have unlimited cars, so I can watch any films I want. Dialogue was clunky in places, but that's modern films. I can't. I'll tell you what I did watch. I watched a film called Extraction on Netflix, and he had matey who plays Thor, one of the Hemsworth. I've forgotten his first name.
Chris.
Yeah, of course it is. That makes sense. Chris Hemsworth, who played Thor, he was in it. I really enjoyed it. Just a proper all-out action film. Really,
Yeah, it was a good film. He's done 2 of those now, hasn't there? There's an Extraction 2. That's really good. Yeah.
I haven't seen the second one yet either. So I watched the first with the intention of watching the second one.
Yeah.
But really enjoyed the first one. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get into the second one now.
Yeah,
Really
I mean,
good.
I've got same as David. I've got an unlimited Cineworld card, and at the moment, it's not getting its value for money because I'm just not interested in most of the films that are out. I'd like to go and see Oppenheimer. That I want to go and see, but it is 3 hours long. But yeah, there's just not enough that's attracting my attention in the cinemas these days.
Yeah, I feel with the Christopher Nolan films, he does long, really confusing movies, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I'm never in a rush to go to the cinema to watch something like that. If I'm honest, it's
Not a 3 hour film.
nah.
I almost want a 3 hour film to go back to the 80s when halfway through they gave you an interval.
Yeah,
They should bring that back.
they should bring that back. They don't do it anymore, do they? You have to make sure you've had a good piss before you go into the cinema these days.
Exactly that. Yeah. It's nothing worse than watching a movie and you think I'm gonna have to go for a piss. You probably miss a key bit. It really winds me up. Bring back the intervals is what I say.
Yeah, think about old days, old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he makes some great films, Christopher Nolan. Visually, they're always really, really good. But I do have to watch some of his films 2 or 3 times to kind of understand what was actually going on.
Yeah.
What were they called? Inception. Bloody hell! I mean, what the hell was
Inception. I think I watched that 5 times and still couldn't get my head around it.
Yeah, but what is going on in that film? Tenet. I watched that as well, and I was just like, "What?
Yeah.
What?
I know. Yeah.
What are you doing? I just want to watch a good film." I'm sitting here, I'm thinking that I'm getting books out, trying to research things. What's going on here? You know.
Yeah.
Oh, the old days. We need another Tarantino film. That's what we need. We need another one from him.
Did you see the last one? The what was it called? Something Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
It was bizarre.
That's a strange film.
That's definitely a good word to describe it. Yet at the same time, I was glued to it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But very odd. I think it's the oddest film he's done.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's not a film he's done that I haven't enjoyed, but I agree with you 100%. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was odd.
Yeah,
It was a really weird, random film.
Yeah.
But I mean, Pulp Fiction, as far as I'm concerned, is the best movie ever made. That, in my opinion, I think Pulp Fiction is the best film ever made. I think
it's an absolute classic, isn't it?
Genius. It is genius.
Yeah.
And it's one of them films that every time it's on, I have to watch it.
Oh, of course.
If I'm scrolling, there's only a few films that ever do that to me. If I'm scrolling through Netflix, I just want something to watch, and you scroll and scroll and scroll. If Pulp Fiction's there, I will watch it. I think Wolf of Wall Street is another one. That film, I've seen that film so many times now, and it's like that's a 3-hour film, but it only feels like a 2-hour film.
Yeah,
there's so much going on with it, you know.
Yeah. I'm the same with Pulp Fiction. The amount of times I've got in bed in the evening, knackered, and I thought I'll just pop the telly on for a couple of minutes, just zone out to a bit of TV for 10 minutes, and I see Pulp Fiction's on. I'm like, I've got to watch all of that.
Yeah.
Don't matter what time of night, I watched it a lot, even though you've seen it a million times.
Yeah. There's just so many lines that you remember from it. I could probably narrate it. I've seen it that many times, but it is that good. Children films hello evening to David. We catch up with his chat. It's flying. Anyone seen the Barbie movie yet? About 3 times.
Rachel and Leah and one of Leah's friends went and saw it yesterday.
Right.
And Rachel said it's actually quite good. She said, I don't think the kids always got the sense of humour because it's almost taking the piss out of itself.
Right.
And she said there was jokes in there that were 80s and 90s jokes that the young kids just didn't get. They weren't rude, but they were just jokes from the past that the young kids just wouldn't understand.
Yeah,
So, and it's got Margot Robbie in it, which is fantastic.
she is a goddess.
Yeah. But yeah, Rachel was actually quite surprised. She said it was better than what she thought it was going to be.
I suppose it's different, I guess. I mean, they've probably done Barbie films, but I imagine they would have been animated, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Actual kids' films. So to grab hold of a franchise like Barbie and make a film out of it, that's
I can't recall a Barbie movie.
no, me neither.
I certainly wouldn't be going looking for them, but I can't recall a Barbie movie. I mean,
No,
that's like doing an Action Man movie, isn't it? Action Man's never been a movie, has it?
I don't think so. No, they done a GI Joe film, didn't they? They did GI Joe. I'll tell you that. Well, they've never done a Thundercats movie. Why have they never done a Thundercats movie? Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
that would have been awesome. A
All right.
Thundercats.
I've got a sneaky feeling there might have been an animated Thundercats movie.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong, but something's telling me they did.
But the thing is, it's probably too late now. Thundercats has
Yeah.
come and gone, isn't it? It's not like Barbie where it's kids still buy Barbies. Thundercats has died. If they did it now, you would be thinking, oh, it's about 20 years too late.
Yeah. Yeah, because most kids, you ask a kid nowadays, what's Thundercats? They wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, not a clue. I mean, even like Ninja Turtles, they still do turtle films, don't they? They knock out a Ninja Turtle movie every now and then.
Yeah.
I loved the Turtles when I was young, but they did loads of Turtles films. And then they died for about 10, 15 years, and then they've tried to kind of bring them back, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Mrs. Mine doesn't. I've no intention of watching the Barbie film. I just not my thing. It's what it is. It's imagine me in a Barbie film. Watch Barbie. Not bad. I took my little girl to see the Mario Brothers film.
Yeah.
I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I fell asleep in the cinema. It's bad. Little girl was loving it. I was out. I just like it's not good.
Well, Rachel and a good friend of hers, Nikki. Rachel and Nikki love film, so they go quite a lot, and they gauge whether a film's a good film or not based on whether I fall asleep, because I've got a reputation of falling asleep in the cinema. So if I fall asleep, they're like, it must have been a shit film because Chris fell asleep. If I stay awake, they're like, he must have enjoyed it. Must have been a good film.
That's the first time I've ever fallen asleep in the cinema.
Oh,
I was tired, but yeah, the Mario film didn't keep me awake. So, yeah. Come on, Nintendo, got to do better than that. But yeah, Ava loved it, so that was the main thing. But yeah, I fell asleep. Cat to me says, "Look at these two. Reminds me of the Wham documentary on Netflix." How?
Yeah, I don't see that.
Where's the link?
Yeah, neither of us as good looking as George Michael.
Nah,
neither of us have got as much hair.
What was the name of the other geezer in Wham? What's the other bloke?
Andrew Ridley.
Andrew Ridley. There you go. There you go.
And
yeah,
I've been told I look like Michael Stipe from REM. So if you'd gone down that route, I might have gone with that.
I can see it now. I can see it now. If you start busting out a bit of Losing My Religion right now, I will lose my shit. What a track that is. They were a great band, REM. Great band.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
Great band. I'm interested to see the press reaction when they get to the final. Are we referring to England, the Women's World Cup? Yeah. Just not interested. Who, David? David Longstaff is in. Hello, David. How are you, mate? How you doing? Mark, the England women's team. Hi, David. I said, God, yeah. Joel says in America, women's football is seen as a bigger thing than men's football.
It is,
yeah. They've been quite successful, haven't they? The American women's soccer team over the years. Success creates a following, doesn't it? You know, with anything, if you do well at it, you're going to inspire young girls across the country to do it. But yeah, I mean, if the England women win the World Cup after winning the Euros, I mean, if that doesn't inspire, then you know what is going to inspire? you know. But hopefully they do well. But it's too late for me to start following another sport, really. Especially a women's one. They got to start picking up their end of the sofa. They got to start watching it. It's not my job. Not my job. Oi, oi, it's Craigie boy. Look at this noise. Craig, how are you, sir?
How are you,
How
mate?
are you, my friend? I don't think the last time I saw Craig, probably around this time last year, beer festival season.
GBBF last year.
Yeah, GBBF. I saw him at London Craft Beer Festival as well. I can't believe how quickly all that's come around. We've literally got
It's nuts.
GBBF next week, and then it's London Craft Beer Festival like the following week or something like that. So, blimey, yeah, we are talking a year.
We bumped into him at GBBF last year, didn't we? I probably just embarrassed myself because I was just so drunk. It was ridiculous.
I think we all were.
So Mr. Kent was probably thinking, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, Craig holds his beer. I always find at GBBF there's something about it there. I love it. I love GBBF. It's unashamedly my favourite beer festival. I love the venue. There's something about a festival where loads of natural light comes in. It just makes it's almost like being outside, but you're not. It's weird.
There was loads of space, wasn't there? There was so much space. That's what I like. So I don't like being stuck in big crowds. Don't enjoy it. But at GBBF, it just wasn't like that, was it? It was so open and, like you say, airy, natural light. It was a good venue.
Yep. And when you want to go and sit down and chat, you've got the tables upstairs on the balcony there. You look down and watch it all. It's just very, very good venue for it. It's perfect for it. But yeah, looking forward to that next Tuesday. It is Tuesday, isn't it? Next Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, week Tuesday. Yeah.
Week Tuesday. Yeah, looking forward to that. Seeing what's on. They usually release a beer list. I don't know if they've released it already, but you have to plan it. You have to plan it. David also says, hello, Craig. Mark says, looks like Paul's trying to make himself look pretty again. I'm always pretty. What are you on about? Always pretty. Shocking, Mark. Shocking. Crystal Skull. No way. Was it 2008? Bloody hell. Is it 15 years ago? Jesus.
Michael Keaton played Batman at 73.
Yeah, he's in the new Flash film, isn't he?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah,
again.
73.
Properly random. I haven't seen it. Again, I've just got no interest. There's so many superhero films. It's like every month there seems to be a new superhero film come out. It's like, how many can you do?
And I enjoy a lot of the Marvel films. You know, my PD's got a Marvel wrap on it.
Yep.
But those Marvel series all kind of followed each one, but had their own individual story event. And they were good films, but like you say, it was just, I think it has gone a bit too far now on the superhero front. And you know, the same on Netflix or whatever streaming service has got all the Star Warsy spin-offs, and you just think, stop dragging the arse out of it. It's done.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
I think you're right. I think they could have done with leaving the Marvel thing for 10 years, maybe. They're never going to do that because it's a cash cow, isn't it? But I think once they did Endgame with the Avengers Assemble, I think they should have left it for a while, you know, and then revisited it with a whole new cast and things. You know, I think that would have been a better idea. But they're so determined to make the money, they just don't leave anything alone anymore. It's got silly. Crystal Skull was awful. I won't watch the latest one. Yeah, I totally agree, mate. Totally agree. To be fair, John Wick shows how to let an older guy be an action hero. All of them are bangers. To be fair, I like the John Wick films. They are good fun.
They are superb. I mean, Keanu Reeves, he's just so cool, isn't he? He's
by all accounts, he's a thoroughly nice bloke as well.
Yeah, apparently so.
He's always makes you feel nicer about someone, when you know, if you hear really good things about someone who's a superstar, you're like, oh right, that's nice, you know. What's this? Matt all says, I'm off all week, but I haven't got any decent beers on, so I'm on a Witchwood Firecatcher. Blimey, I've not had that one for a long time. long time. Where'd you get that? I think Morrison. Did you get that one in Morrison's? I think the Morrison's I've seen. They usually have a few Witchwood beers in there, don't they? But been a long time since I've had Firecatcher.
I can't remember the last time I saw a Firecatcher.
That's,
I thought it'd gone.
there was a few. They used to do quite a few, didn't they? The Black Witch. I don't think they make Black Witch anymore. Do they? Witchwood. Yeah. That was a good one. That was a half decent stout. What else did they do? Ripsaw. That was that kind of maple syrup ale thing. I haven't seen that for a long time. They used to do the pumpkin one, the Halloween pumpkin. I haven't seen that for a couple of years or so now. I haven't seen the Christmas beer for a couple of Christmases either. The Scrooged, Ebenezer Scrooge beer. I haven't seen that one for a while, which is a shame because I used to love that beer.
Yeah, that was all right. Yeah, it was all right.
Dave Wilson's in a bar drinking a Turning Point Breakfast Brothers, a lovely 12% impy. Goodness me.
Why
not? Why not? It's been a while since I've had an impy. I've realised I am definitely a seasonal drinker. As much as I enjoy a stout, I do feel like it needs to be cold for me to have a big stout.
Yeah, I've got an impy in here somewhere. And I keep meaning to review it, but I'm the same. I just think it's too warm a weather to be reviewing an impy.
Yeah.
But I am really, really light on beer in here. It's the lightest I've ever been in a long time on beer. So my impy might actually get open this evening.
Why not? Why not? I was doing well. I hadn't bought any beer for a while, and I said I'll try and get through my my back catalogue. There's the beers that have been sitting around,
That's exactly what I've been doing.
I've been trying to do it, and then Vocation emailed me the other day.
Oh, what a shame!
Yeah, I know, idiots, bloody idiots, Vocation, and they were doing 24 cans of Life and Death for 44 quid.
Ooh.
I thought, bloody hell, it's less than £2 a can. So yeah, I've got 24 cans of Life and Death sitting next to me at the moment. So yeah. It's a great beer, isn't it? Great beer.
It so is. It has changed a little bit, but it is still a really good beer.
Yeah, it's just. I think it's just the. There's no such thing as perfect, but it's a nigh on. It's an incredible IPA because it's got them tropical notes, but at the same time there's a nice kind of piney bitterness to it as well. It's got a lovely balance. Just a really good craft IPA. They've nailed it with that one for me.
Yeah, it's quite.
Joel says, is anyone watching Snow White when it comes out next year?
No, I've got it to the new already.
Oh, he's off. He's off. Snow White is now black, and the dwarves are average size. What? How can they do that? What? I'm trying not to get started. What is Disney's obsession with changing everything? Seriously, who are they worried about offending? I don't get it. I don't get it. It is absolute nonsense. B-Dog says, no drinking for me today. Got to be up at 3:30 for work. I had a heavy one yesterday. Good lad. Good lad. Mimic. Hello, Mimic. Says, not drinking tonight. I drank too much last night. Revisiting some old classics from Morrison's. The Old Hooky, Bateman's, and Thingston's. Nice. Some classics. Some traditional beers. Why not? Can't recall the name, but the salt exclusive in Lidl was okay. Yeah, that was that session. That was that session IPA, wasn't it? Session IPA. They had the salt hexagons, but they're all in the colour of the Lidl colour scheme, weren't they? Like white, red, and blue. Is that Lidl colours? Blue, yellow, red. No, but yeah, I had that as well. Wasn't bad at all. Hello, Jim. How are you? Captain Meat's having a few beers. Got some beers from Poland. Drinking the Zuba. I've not had a Zuba for a while. Not had that one for a while. Mark Jones says, starting a new job in the morning. Oof. What are you doing, Mark? What are you doing? Good luck. Congratulations on the new job. Good luck with it. I hope he has a good start off to it tomorrow. Everyone say hello to each other. Matt says Extraction 2 is worth watching. Excellent. I will. I might even watch that tonight if I don't get too pissed tonight and fall asleep in the armchair. I might watch it tonight. Where are we? We're not getting a Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter movie to make me want to go back to the cinema. I have a special fire stick. Oh, you dirty boy! Got a special fire stick. I love the Lord of the Rings films.
Yeah.
I was proper sad. I went to see them at the cinema like multiple times when they were out. That was probably my peak of cinema going back then.
Yeah, they were good films.
They were terrific.
Yeah.
They were terrific, and I love the Harry Potter films now. Abby got me into the Harry Potter films. I wasn't interested at all, and then I think we sat and watched them all. I think it was during COVID. We managed to kind of sit down and watch all the Harry Potter films, and I was like, "All right, I get it. They're good. They're actually really good." And it's one of them now. If there's one on, I'll sit and watch it. I quite like the Harry Potter films. They are good.
Yeah, I've not got into them. Maybe I should give them another try. But yeah, they've never done it for me. But I've never watched the whole one. I've never watched one from start to finish.
Oh, really? It is worth it. I was in the same boat. I was like, oh, do I really want to? And then once I watched it, I was like, yeah, actually, do you know what? Great cast. The amount of bloody good actors they had in those films, really good. But yeah, they were excellent. They were excellent. I can see the appeal. They were good. Dave says the Bollywood films have set intermission in what the Bollywood films have a set intermission in the film. It's great for comfort break and lots of folk buy more snacks. Yeah,
Yeah.
a halftime hot dog.
Yeah.
Why not? Old school. Yeah, Captain thought you'd have a better name for the little film. For me, Christopher Nolan's best films are Insomnia and Pacino with and Robbie Williams and Memento with Guy Pearce. Yes, I've seen Insomnia. Did Nolan do that? Bloody hell.
I didn't know that.
That's years old, isn't it? Insomnia, Al Pacino and Robin Williams. If I'm thinking of the right film.
That is old. But yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I think that's very old.
Yeah, I didn't realise he did that. I mean, for my favourite Christopher Nolan film is, well, the Batman films.
Yeah.
Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises. Great films. Captain Meat says, for me, Tarantino's best movie is still Reservoir Dogs.
Well,
Great film. Great film.
yeah.
It is. I could probably put an order in. Jackie Brown. I mean, when Jackie Brown came out, everyone was like, "Oh, it's the worst film that Tarantino's done." But if you forget for 1 minute that Tarantino's directed it and just watch it for what it is, it's actually a bloody good film. You know, Jackie Brown is still a blooming good film. Whereas Inglourious Bastards, that was good.
Yeah, that was a film.
Hateful Eight, that was a great film.
Hateful Eight, gosh,
Yeah.
I've got that as well.
Great film. And again, it's overlooked all the time, but it was brilliant. It was brilliant. They're all locked into this hut in the middle of a blizzard, aren't they? And
Yeah.
trying to figure out who's who. It's just a really good film. Nolan did the best Batman films. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Mark Jones just cracked a Heineken. No piss taking, everyone.
I don't mind a Heineken. To be
Yeah.
fair, I've got a little guilty pleasure for Heineken.
Yeah.
Don't mind it.
No, I'm saying I've got no issue with Heineken whatsoever. No issue with it.
I tell you what I've got in my fridge that I am going to review is I've got a bottle of Budweiser that's 5%.
Oh, blimey.
In cans, it's 4.5.
Yeah,
So I'm going to get a bottle of Bud that's 4.5 and then do a side by side.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. It is scandalous, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
we know why they're doing it because we've got the tax duty redoing coming up 1st of August, so it's all getting more expensive to export your beer and everything. And Carlsberg have acted quick, haven't they?
Yeah, and Foster's has dropped. I mean, they might as well call Foster's. They might as well call that Foster's Light now.
Yeah.
And even John Smith's are going to drop as well. I mean, how much lower does that want to go?
Like I say, it's only alcohol in it anymore.
Yeah, I think is it 3.6? I think they're dropping that to 3.4.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible beer anyway, but to keep dropping that, it's just going to get even worse.
Yeah, and I know Carlsberg's dropping to 3.4, and it's just like bloody hell, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know why they're doing it, but
Oh, cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
how much worse can it? Excuse me. Hey Henry, how you doing? Good evening to you, my friend. How are you? Let's get these likes up. He's doing a thumb push. He's doing a thumb push. If you like this drivel, yeah, give it one of them. Give it one of them. Why not? I'll take it. Reservoir Dogs was a hardcore gritty film. It certainly was.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah,
It certainly was.
Well.
I remember back when I lived at my mum and dad's house when I was younger, and I used to hear my dad bollocking me from downstairs. He's like, "Paul, would you turn that down?" Because all you could hear him effing and blinding. Every other word in Reservoir Dogs was "f this, f that," and it was great, you know. But Reservoir Dogs was raw. It was raw, but brilliant. John Morris. She did. She did. She was in Neighbours. Could you believe that? Can you believe
My phone
that?
battery is 1% and it's plugged in, and I don't know why it's not charging.
That's a bit worrying.
Why hasn't that told me it's down to 1%? It's plugged in. I don't get it. I might disappear in a second.
Any second he's going to go. Bloop.
Why is that at 1%? It is. It's at 1%. I don't get it.
Have you not even got the charging logo up there?
It's now just told me I've got less than 10%. No joke. I've got one. Why is that not charging? Oh, now it is.
Oh,
Scroll's just gone all funky.
it's charging. You went upside down for a second there. Oh, it's done it again.
Let's get this phone's gash. Let's give it a go, this phone.
Rich is in. Hello, Rich. How are you, mate? How are you? How you doing, mate? Thank you for joining us. How's things? How's things been on Northern Monkey? Be Rich up in up Newcastle. I always forget where he lives. Is it North Shields? He's up there somewhere. Up Newcastle way. There was a load of Barbie animated movies. My daughter had them on VHS. Bloody hell. So yeah, they've been doing them for a while then. Joe says, I won't mind the new DuckTales movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Bring on the DuckTales film. Why not, man? Why not?
Yeah.
I still love DuckTales. What a theme tune DuckTales had. What a theme tune. They don't do them like that anymore.
No,
They don't do them like that anymore. I think, to be fair, all of the Disney cartoons had good theme tunes. Do you remember Chip and Dale?
Yeah.
The Chipmunks, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. That had a good theme tune as well. Great theme tune.
Belting theme tunes, wouldn't they?
They used to. That was like the best bit of some of the programs back then. The theme tunes. Now they just can't be bothered. It's lazy. Can't beat the old school cartoons. They were great. Jim says my favourite cop movie by far is Training Day. Oh, that is a great film.
Yeah.
What a movie that is. Absolutely. Absolutely awesome. Denzel Washington absolutely killed it in that film. Absolutely killed it. Yeah, I love it. That's another one that's properly raw. Is there any I don't know if anyone's not seen it, many spoilers, but where they the drug dealer, where they sit there in his house for ages like he's a mate of theirs.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they do him, don't they? You know, it was all set up. Yeah, what a film. What a film. For me, 80s movies are the best. Rocky, Raging Bull, Back to the Future, Rambo, films back then weren't worried about upsetting people. You're forgetting Terminator. How can you do an 80s list and not chuck Terminator in there? Shocking. Does anyone watch the Arnold documentary on Netflix?
I keep wanting to. I keep looking at it and I keep seeing him in his bare-chested pose on the thumbnail, if you like. And I keep wanting to press it, but something just stops me pressing it. Yeah, I want to, but I don't know what is stopping me.
Oh, loved it. Loved it. If ever there was someone who deserved a documentary about him, it's him. If you think what that guy has done with his life, it is ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous what that guy has done. He's a legend. He's a legend for me. I know that word gets bounded about a lot, but he is a legend.
He is a legend. His films were incredible.
Yeah.
So many of his films are brilliant. But when you get down to the nit and gritty, he's a pretty shit actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But his films
Awful.
were just the nuts, weren't they?
Awful. But he had this. He says it in the documentary. He said he just didn't care. His attitude was, I want to do everything. I want to do as much as I can. I want to, with everything that's been given to me, all these opportunities, I'm just going to keep talking to the right people and banging on the door and saying, look, I want to do this, I want to do that. And that's basically what he did.
Yeah.
It's incredible. An incredible life that man has lived. He's insane. Good comedy horror. Dust Till Dawn. Great movie. Great movie. That again is one of my all-time favorite movies. I own a Titty Twister T-shirt. I think I've worn it on here once or twice over the years. It is a classic, absolute classic.
I mean that scene where you've got like the Filipino bloke standing out the front of the bar, talking about the amount of pussy. It's just hilarious. That is just incredible. It is so funny. It is brilliant. I love it.
It is excellent. I think Robert Rodriguez directed that one. Tarantino was in it, wasn't he? He was George Clooney's brother in it. But I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
I
just didn't expect what happened to happen.
Yeah, it just completely switched. It went from like a gangster movie into a full-blown messy horror film. It was ridiculous. So brilliant. Good.
Very clever.
Yeah, unbelievably. Taxi Driver with De Niro. Yeah, I mean, your phone's going off. That was a good film. It took me ages to kind of to watch Taxi Driver. I think that was another one I watched during COVID when I was sitting about doing nothing, and it was very good, very good.
What's your most favourite car chase movie?
Ooh, favourite car chase movie.
I've got mine.
Car chase movie. I think my favourite car movie is probably Gone in 60 Seconds. But I wouldn't call it a car chase movie, but
or a movie with a great car chase in it.
Yeah, I would probably say Gone in 60 Seconds.
You must have seen Ronin.
Yes.
That, for me, is the best car chase ever made.
I did have a good car chase in it, didn't it?
It went on for about 20 minutes. It was incredible. And the roads that they were driving down in France, and I've driven those roads, which probably makes it probably why I like it a bit more, because I've driven a lot of those roads.
Yeah.
But, and they were using like kind of ordinary cars. I mean, it's a Citroen XM in it, and I thought they're just ordinary cars just doing the most badass car chase I've ever seen in a movie. I think that by far is my best car chase sequence in a movie is Ronin.
I'll have to watch that one again because I haven't seen it for a long time, to be fair, Ronin.
That's a great film. It's got De Niro in it and what's his name? Sean Bean's in it.
Yeah. Is it Sean Bean?
Yeah.
Sean
Bean.
In
it. And the other guy, I can't remember his name. There's just there's some big names in it. Great film. Watch it again.
I'm definitely gonna have to put that on the list. So a few people commenting on that one. So running that awesome car chase, Audi S8.
Yeah, S8. Yeah.
You know what? I was about to say this because you reminded me of it. The Bourne Identity. That had a really good car chase in it. Yeah, and he was ragging around the French girl's Mini, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Where was it? Was he in Berlin? I don't know, Captain Meat will correct me. Wasn't it Berlin? The car chase was in that one, and in Germany where his memory was just starting to come back, and he had to run away from the feds. Yeah. That was a really good scene. Those are great films as well. The Bourne films, excellent.
Yeah, I enjoyed those. Yeah.
Really good. 4 films: Conan, Terminator, Total Recall, Predator. Tell me you could do a better job. No one. No one will ever do better than them. Schwarzeneggers. That's what they were. Jimbo Cop. Training Day is a banger, and I got told it's based on your life. Yeah, that's what I heard as well. So I heard. Dodgy copper is Jim. Captain Meat says Simon is showing up the beer companies this summer with his versus videos. Leffe is defo the worst of the lot. Yeah, what did he do? Did he do new Leffe against an old one? Did he?
Yeah, Leffe have dropped the ABV, haven't they?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, bloody hell!
yeah. And then they so they dropped the ABV, and then they were doing massive deals on it certainly in Asda, where they had it on the end of the aisle in like 12 packs, really making a big deal of Leffe and doing it with great prices. But what they weren't doing was saying that the ABV's dropped. But
Yeah,
they were like almost like relaunching it. And I was looking at it thinking, why Asda? Why are Leffe in Asda doing this massive, almost look like a relaunch of these big deals on 12 pack, 6 pack, you name it, the big 660 bottles. And then I picked one up and I thought, let me just have a little cheeky look at this. And I saw the ABV had dropped. And then Simon did a video of comparing the ABV drop to the original.
they do love dicking around with these beers, don't they? I get it; they've all got to try and make some money, but it does make you worry. So, are we ever going to be drinking decent beer ever again? You
Well,
know?
the thing is, I get what you're saying. I do get it to a degree, but they're saving money because of the tax brackets, etc. But they don't pass any of that saving on to us. They don't reduce the price of the beer. The price is still the same as it was before it dropped, and that I don't know the ins and outs of brewery business, etc. But I just find it a bit offensive. I think you've dropped the ABV to save on tax, but you're not passing any of that on to us.
Yeah.
So you're dropping the quality, but we're not getting any benefit from that.
Yeah. Yeah, see, there's not a lot of thoughts gone into the consumer, have they, when they've done these things? Which is a bit concerning. You know, when it's the bigger companies that are doing it, who could afford to kind of ask themselves, you know, do we need to do this? Do we need to make this decision? You know, it's it's a bit of a shame, really. It is a bit of a shame. I'm gonna open another beer. I need another beer. I need a bottle opener. Oh, there we go. Well, that opened first time. Result. I'm gonna have a golden ale, a traditional golden ale.
I'm not a big fan of golden ales. It's not style I like golden ales.
Oh, I do quite enjoy. I do quite enjoy a golden ale from time to time. If it's
Unless it's got ginger in it and it's called Jasper.
yeah, that was half decent.
That was.
That was half decent. I'm having one that's from Brookfield Brewery. These were sent to me. Oh god, that's horrible. Yellow Lionheart. This is the Lionheart's Golden Ale, and they sent me a few bottles and asked if I would tell them what I thought. So I've had they sent me 4 bottles of their bitter. And they sent me 4 bottles of this. Oh, I don't look too terrible.
Very nice. I've just opened a very small 250ml bottle of Hoegaarden Rosé.
Hoegaarden Rosé. So what is that? Literally just Hoegaarden with a bit of a.
Well, it's not good. I don't think the colour's going to show up, but it has definitely got a bit of a kind of pinky hue to it. But it's not going to look that way on camera.
I could just about see that. Yeah.
It is there. There's a little reddy hue to it. I've had it ages. Again, I'm working through the backlog of beers that I've had sitting in here for so long, and that's why I haven't bought any beer. I thought I'm not going to buy any beer until I've consumed everything that's left in it.
Yeah, it has to be done, doesn't it? You do have to have a good clear out.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably going to try that tonight. There's some beers on the top shelf of that fridge I haven't even looked at. There's something about bottles. If I've got bottles, I tend to let them sit there for ages. If it's in a can, I'm more likely to drink it. I've realised I'm doing it. Don't know why.
I'm completely the opposite. Other than these, I mean, that is a bottle.
Yeah.
And on the live the other night. No, I drank that one last night that I've had for ages.
Mm.
But yeah, I generally do it the other way around. I do it with cans. I let cans sit for ages. But the other night I was on a live with. Oh, you joined it very last minute, didn't you? In the chat with Mark and
Oh
Tom.
yeah, yeah.
And I opened a stout that went past its best before date in 2021 that I'd had. That was just sitting under here, and I was like, I'm just going to open it. It was actually really nice.
Yeah.
Really
funny,
nice. Even though it was out of date by coming up over 2 years. It was
Yeah.
decent.
I think it's one of them few beer styles you can get away with, isn't it? A beer that's out of date, a stout. Funny enough, I drank a stout that was nearly 2 years out of date the other day. The guy, our sales guy at work, used to work for a brewery called Haresfoot, who are no longer in existence. And he dug out a bottle of a Banoffee stout that they did. And he said, "Oh, do you want to try that?" He says, "It's only about sort of, nearly 2 years out of date." And I thought, go on then. And do you know what? I reckon 2 years ago that would have been stunning.
Yeah.
But as it was, all the flavours had kind of become more and more subdued. You could tell it had been turned down. Everything there, though. Everything was there. There was toffee. There was a bit of banana. There was like a nice sort of coffee. You could do a little bit of the roasted malt character was there, but it was all really, really subtle. And I thought, you know what? I reckon fresh that would have been an absolute belter.
Yeah.
But if it had been any other sort of beer, it probably wouldn't have been drinkable. You know?
No.
Oh, that's a great shout. Cat to Meet Driver.
Driver.
Great film. Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. Yeah.
That had a really good opening scene because he was literally the getaway driver for a bank job, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It wasn't a bank job; it was like a jeweler's or something. And he timed it perfectly so that he was listening to a basketball game, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he was driving around Los Angeles, and he timed it perfectly so that he pulled into the stadium car park as the game was ending. So then he left the two guys in the back of the car, jumped out of the car, put a basketball cap on, a jacket, and walked out of the stadium and just left them there in the car. So like the cops didn't know where to go first. It was very, very cool. Yeah. Really good film. Another great film, Collateral. Great film.
Yeah.
Great film. I think I'm with you. That's probably my favorite Tom Cruise movie. I really enjoyed the new Top Gun. Yeah, Collateral was superb, and
he played that so well as well, didn't he?
Yeah, it was Jamie Foxx wasn't Jamie Foxx was the taxi driver, wasn't he? Yeah. In that, and again, he was very good in that. Very good film. Who directed that one? What's the name of the guy who directed that? Bay? Is it Michael Bay who directed that one?
Could have been. I think it certainly had a Michael Bay feel about it. So yeah. I can't remember.
He used to do some really good films, Michael Bay. All the stylish ones. Yeah. They did that Miami Vice film, didn't they?
Yeah.
Shortly after, and that was pretty good as well. Yeah, Jim's got it. Michael Bay, it was, yes, that was good. Wrexham smashed up LA Galaxy. Did they really?
Did they?
Oh, you love to see it. What was the score? Wrexham beating LA Galaxy. Oh, you love to see it. Just got promoted back to the Football League and they're battering LA Galaxy.
I wonder if Ryan Reynolds was there watching that.
I hope so. Oh, dear.
Yeah, love that.
That is great. Go on, Wrexham.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Love it. This golden ale, it's very drinkable, but it's also a bit forgettable. I'm going to policies are 4.3%, delightfully full-bodied and splendidly refreshing. It's doing the job, but I do feel like I need a little bit more character.
Yeah, I just don't get on with golden ales.
It's that kind of good go between like an ale and a lager, isn't it? A golden ale. It's if you don't quite fancy something overly fruity and overly malty, you can get a golden ale. It just kind of does that refreshing job that you want from a lager, but without all the carbonation. So it's an interesting style. But yeah, I wonder if John will ever do. If we'll ever do the Jasper again, it'd be worth another brew, I reckon.
It was a great beer. In terms of, it was a great beer in the summer, Jasper.
Mm.
I really enjoyed that when it was hot. That kind of ginger bite in hot weather. Just, I don't know, there's just something about it. I just found it really refreshing. I'm really
Yeah.
nice and chilled, properly chilled on a hot day. I thought Jasper was superb.
Yeah, it's funny that because when we first spoke about doing a collaboration, it was coming up to Christmas. It was coming up to winter, and we were going to do a stout, but we were like, well, we need it to sell. So John was like, let's do something different. So we thought, okay, we'll do an ale, but a golden ale. So it's kind of a go in between with the ginger in it. And see how it goes. And again, I just thought if we put a bit of spice in it, it would still be like a good winter beer, a good refreshing beer for the winter. But then, like you said, I think most of the feedback I got off of it wasn't until the following summer.
Yeah.
So the people were just saying they were enjoying it, and I was just like, wow, okay, that wasn't what we had in mind, but it was that's what happened with it. You know, it it did well. It did well for the warmer weather, which is nice. As long as someone liked it, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, here's a question. Cat to meet. Best movie car.
Oh,
For me, it's a no-brainer.
best movie car.
I'm going to say Eleanor. I said the film earlier, Gone in 60 Seconds, but Eleanor, the 1967 Shelby Mustang GT in gunmetal grey with the black Go Faster stripes on it. Oh, thing of beauty.
Phenomenal.
Thing of beauty.
Phenomenal. And the Mustang that was in John Wick, that was phenomenal as well.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, best movie car. I don't know. I suppose you also, because it goes back to my youth, certainly in the early 80s or the mid 80s, you can't ignore the DeLorean in Back to the Future.
No.
Certainly, certainly it was never a good car, but in that film, it was just a car that stuck, didn't it? It was quite different.
It's iconic.
Yeah.
It's iconic. If it wasn't for that movie, no one would give a toss about the DeLorean, would they?
No, of course they wouldn't, because it was actually a terrible car.
Yeah.
It really was.
But it had suicide doors on it.
Yeah. So for me, best movie car, it could well be the DeLorean. But you're right, the Gone in 60 Seconds, Eleanor, that is a phenomenal motor.
Yeah. I love that. That car for me is still, I think to this day, is the most beautiful car ever built. I love it. I love it. If there's one, I'm very practical when it comes to my vehicles. You know, I love the idea of having an absolute beast, but you can't drive it anywhere. You're never gonna be able to drive it to its full, capacity. You're never gonna be able to push it because you're either gonna get done by a speed bump, or a speed camera, or the old bill. The insurance and the tax would just be absolutely ridiculous on it. It's essentially it's pointless. But if a 1967 Mustang Shelby GT in gunmetal grey and black faster stripes fell into my lap, I would say no. I would put a nice sheet on that. Take it for a rag every other weekend or something,
Yeah, it's a stunning car.
Thing of beauty.
Yeah.
I'm glad
someone. It's exactly that, isn't it? It is a thing of beauty. It really is. I can't imagine anyone not liking the look of that car.
No, that is. I think that's where cars peaked. The sort of 60s, 70s American muscle cars. I think they were stunning, and it wasn't just Ford making them. Dodge were making some beautiful cars as well. Chevrolet made some good cars as well. They were making some nice looking cars.
Yeah, the proper original American muscle cars. They're just stunning. Stunning to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. Captain Meat's been Kit. Yeah, Kit from Knight Rider. That was good. Was that a Pontiac?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Trans Am Pontiac.
Trans Am Pontiac. Great looking car. Great looking car. And it spoke. It spoke to you. Henry says we're 20 likes off of 80. How was that possible?
Wow.
That's awesome. Henry's working his magic, getting everyone to give it a thumbs up. which is awesome. Thank you very much, dude. That's mental. The AMC Police Interceptor in Mad Max was excellent. There were some naughty cars in Mad Max, but they're all kind of deliberately covered in dust and that, weren't they, to kind of play it down. The 18 van is a great shot.
Yeah.
Rich is currently watching The Last Kingdom. New music video, which was in. He's just filmed a video. Oh, nice. I watched like the first couple of seasons of Last Kingdom, and I completely lost track of it. McQueen, Bullet. That's always probably one of the first names that comes up, isn't it, for like the best car chase? Bullet.
Yeah.
And the Bullet Mustang, very cool. Trans Am, Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh yeah, that was a great car, that Trans Am, to look at. Brilliant.
Aston Martin from Goldfinger, the DeLorean, Back to the Future. Loving this. E-Type. Oh, it's a beautiful car, isn't it? Jag E-Type. Just bonnet for days. But a beautiful looking car. Cut Mrs. Jim could see you in the MM car in leather, administrating Jimbo Justice. Dodge Viper. Dodge Vipers were good looking cars, weren't they? When they came out, they were out there.
Yeah.
They were out there.
Yeah, they were a cool looking car.
You put the Go Faster stripes on them. Blue with white stripes. Oof.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, Knight Rider. Yeah, the kit. Great car. Henry's on San Miguel. I had someone else. I was chatting to someone at work today. We get a lot of people who come into the bar and they're like, what's your, like, they assume that we don't have a lager. If they've never been there before, they assume we don't have a lager because it's a craft beer place. And I'm like, no, we got our own lager. They're like, what's the most lagery beer you have? And I'm like, literally, it's so funny because people who drink there laugh every time I say it. They're like, what's your most lagery beer? And I'm like, a lager. Want to find a lager? They're like, yeah, great. They just assume we don't do it. You know, it's just so odd. But I do love putting people on the spot. There are people who, I get it. I remember the first time I used to go into bottle shops. I think I've had this conversation with you before. I think when I first started going into bottle shops, I was a little bit intimidated because I was new. I was new to the kind of the craft beer game. I knew I was bored with the offerings that I was getting in the supermarkets and stuff like that. And I didn't want to make a complete dick of myself, you know, asking people, you know, what was good, what I should be looking for and all that. But you kind of get it when someone goes into a craft beer establishment or a bar, you know, and they're like, we've got anything that's like a lager, please. And you got to be like, we brew a lager, it's okay. We brew a lager.
A friend, something similar, not quite the same, but a friend of mine came round last night and we were sat in here till almost 3 a.m. He's a manager in a garden centre, and he said he gets people come in, and he's out in the outdoor area, and people come in and say, can you tell me where the indoor plants are? And he's like, yeah, indoors. People are just fucked up, aren't they? Like, yeah, the indoor plants are, funny enough, gonna be indoors.
Inside, mate. Yeah, not out here where the sun's burning on them. Yeah, they do. People say daft things, don't they? And they probably think about it 5 minutes later and think, oh, what a tit. What a tit. I want to take this moment just to say happy birthday, Chris.
Well, thank you very much.
It is Chris's birthday today. He's being all coy about it, not saying nothing. Yeah,
it certainly is.
So what did you get up to today?
Had a lazy morning, had breakfast, had lunch at home, and then we went down to the Grove Lock Fuller's Pub, which is about 15 minutes away. Had a couple of beers there, which is very nice, sitting on the canal, right on the canal. Then came home and fired up the old Weber barbecue and put my latest barbecue gadget on, which was my electric rotisserie device, and did a rotisserie chicken for dinner.
I was going to say that was very, very cool. So Chris sent a video up and you could just see this chicken just rotate. I was like, you flash git. Yeah, it's got one of them cheeky rotators on it. How cool is that?
Yeah, it was nice. I'll do one for you soon.
Come over. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. We're overdue. We're overdue a meet up with some
Yeah,
food. That's for
we
sure.
haven't got up for ages. So yeah,
Nah. Yeah, I'm off next weekend. I mean, I'm off tomorrow. I've got to tidy up my garden. That's one thing I have got to do. So I say it's a day off, but I am going to be doing things. Yeah, my garden looked immaculate about 3 weeks ago,
yeah,
and it hasn't stopped raining since.
no,
So now my weeds have come up again. So it's
yeah.
piss take. So I've got to do that. But yeah, we'll have to
Well, this
meet
is
up,
yeah,
have a couple of beers, and get the grill fired up,
damn right.
get it rolling. But yes, Chris is 21 today, so everyone wish Chris a happy birthday.
Absolutely.
Funny thing, my dad in next month, you know the shop lady. I said it. Well, you asked me a question. Where was I reading it? What's your favourite mass produced lager? If you could only drink one for the rest of your life. Favourite mass produced? Cool, blimey.
Well, that's difficult.
That's a tricky one.
Don't mind Heineken. Don't mind San Miguel.
I mean, we can't really include German lagers in that, can we? I mean, I'm assuming the stuff you get in the supermarkets.
Yeah, I mean, what mass-produced decent German lager can you get?
Well, technically,
Oh,
they,
Warstein.
I mean, they all brew Paul Arner, their Heller's lager that brewed. It's mass produced, isn't it? I guess. But yeah, I think if you was to go into a supermarket and someone said, "Yeah, grab me your favourite packet of mass produced lager," God, blimey, it's been a while since I've actually drunk any of them. It would probably be a toss up between Heineken and San Miguel,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah, I don't mind San Miguel, as I've just said, and Heineken. And they're both 5% as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
And I just think with lagers that are mass-produced, that 5% mark could be quite a difference in taste and flavour and mouthfeel. You start dropping under 4 on a mass-produced, or even around about 4% on a mass-produced lager, they're all just pants.
yeah,
So the Heineken's 5%, San Miguel's 5%. So it'd be one of those two.
yeah. But yeah, make no mistake. I mean, if I'm going into the supermarket, I'm never looking for Heineken or San Miguel.
No,
You know, if I want to pick up a few lagers, I will see if they've got Warsteiner in there or if they've
yeah,
got Krombacher in there.
yeah,
But I mean, the German lagers, they brew them at such capacity now. I mean, Augustina Hell's Augustina Heller's lager is one of the best lagers I've ever tasted, if not the best lager I've ever tasted. I imagine they brew that at some rate.
yeah.
So that would be right up there. Fru Kolsch, although not technically a lager, is right up there. That's one of my all-time favourite lagers. It's a golden beer. It's got I can't remember which way around it is now. Do they use lager? They use lager yeast in it, don't they? But it's essentially the ale grain, the malts of an ale. But it's beautiful. It's so drinkable. That is one of the most dangerously drinkable beers through Kolsch. 4.8%. I could sit there drink that all day. It just glides down. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and sometimes in supermarkets you get it in the old 5 litre mini kegs as well.
Yeah, yeah. I know Trembling Madness sell them. The
Yeah,
5 litre. That is genuinely one of the most beautiful beers through Kolsch. I could just sit there and polish that off all day. It is wonderful,
yeah,
wonderful.
I've had it for a long time.
Jim's just opened the Ruthless Rye. Ooh, ooh. I might join you. I might join you because I've got one in the fridge behind me. I might drink the same beer as Jim. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna polish off his golden nail.
Do it. Ruthless. I had a rye the other day. It was one of John's.
Oh yeah.
I've still got the bottle. The bottle's around somewhere. But yeah, it's one of John's rye beers. Can't remember what it was called, but it's very nice. Really nice.
I don't think I've had that one yet. I've got one of his downstairs. I can't remember which one it is. Can't remember if it's the Ruthless Rye or if it's the other one with the Morgan on the front of it. Can't remember now. But yeah, I'm gonna crack open the Ruthless Rye IPA from Sierra Nevada.
Nice.
This came in the fan pack, which the Americans, bastards, they all got last year. and we had to wait months for ours. I ordered this. When did I order it? May? Might have been April now. April, May time we ordered it. And we had a delay. It took about 2 months for us to get them. But oof, I'll tell you what, it was worth the wait. They are terrific beers. So this is a Ruthless Rye IPA. 6.6. It is 6.6% ABV.
Oh, okay. You just can't go wrong with Sierra Nevada, can you?
No,
Them generally don't do things wrong, do they?
nah. I've been saying it for a while. I've been talking waffle about Sierra Nevada for a long time, and yeah, they've yet to make me look like an idiot. I'm waiting. I wait. It'll happen one day. They'll knock out a bad beer eventually, but they're taking their time with it. But yeah, we did the fan pack, and there was a pilsner in it. There was the rye IPA. There was a red IPA, which I mean I love red IPAs, and there was a standard IPA. I say standard IPA. Sierra Nevada don't do standard IPAs. Just a hoppy monster of an IPA, and their ones are already gone. But yeah, they don't do bad beer. They just don't know how to do bad beer. They are excellent. I love the artwork of this one. The camera doesn't really do it justice. You got like a woman stood out in the field there, sort of leaning on a farm. It's proper kind of old school sort of American art. It's very, very cool. Really, really good. But yeah, it's got a IBU of 58. I love just the information they give you as well, which is nice. So yeah, Jim. While we're on the subject of Jim, I'm going to be in Tennessee in October, and Tennessee's right next to North Carolina. And I'm thinking, Jim, we should meet up. We should meet up and have a beer, son.
Yeah, you should. Absolutely, you should.
We should sort that out.
Yeah.
Oof. But yeah, Jim Brian Cronbacker, another great shout. Grant says I'm counting Pilsners as lagers. So, Budvar. Wow. How did I forget Budvar? Great shout. Budvar, yeah, I suppose, mass produced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Budvar is a great lager. Genuinely great lager.
Pilsner Urquell. I can never say it properly. Urquell.
Pilsner Urquell, yeah. Pilsner Urquell.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm fluent in Czech. Otherwise, that would have sounded daft. Yeah. But yeah, but Budvar, definitely. Love it. I think I've told you the story. London Craft Beer Festival. There last year, it was a steaming hot day. It's down at the Tobacco Docks in London, right on the Thames. And that place is like a giant greenhouse. And I was sweating my tits off all day. And I was just drinking lagers and like IPAs. I was literally drinking beer pretty much just to keep myself cool. So I went through a lot of beer that day. But the best beer I had that day was a pint of Budvar. I went down to see Redeem at the Budvar bar, and he picked up one of the Budvar mugs. I think we've all got now. Dunked it in freezing water for me. Poured a fresh pint of Budvar, and it was the best beer of the day because it was ice cold and it was poured perfectly. Yeah. And all them craft beers I had, all these IPAs, great brewers, they're all completely outdone by a cold, well-made lager. Yeah. Almost felt bad admitting it, but that's what it was. You know, it was. Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes you just can't knock a lager.
No, you can't. You really can't.
It's weird. Captain Mick says Paul Simon did a trip. He did. He went to Budvar. He went over there and did a tour of the brewery. We have been talking about doing it. So I know John has been talking to Redeem because when we met Redeem at Brew London a couple of years ago, we said we should sort out coming over there and do a tour of the brewery. But the kind of the catch with that is we've got to do content, and as much as yeah, you should do content if you're going somewhere like that. Sometimes I really like going to doing these beer experiences and not having to worry about pull out my camera. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I to kind of live in the moment and take it in and enjoy a beer. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And especially when it's not always going to interest everyone.
Yeah.
You know, if you're doing a beer adventure, it's something you really want to do. You can't guarantee that other people are going to want to watch it.
No.
You know, so if you then pulled your camera out and recorded a load of footage on what should have been a wicked day,
Yeah.
and then not many people watch it, you're going to be pissed off. You know,
Yeah.
so it's yeah, I have a little bit of an issue with it in doing these things that I really want to do and then recording them.
Yeah.
You know, I know that might sound really weird when you're a beer related YouTuber, but sometimes I just
No,
like
I
to,
get it. Yeah.
yeah. And most of the time, I like to just have a beer and not do anything. I like to chill and relax and have a beer. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah. One of my bucket list things is to have a pint of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale at um in Chico in California at Sierra Nevada, and there's no way in hell a camera would come out on a day like that. There's just no
No.
way. I'd be so in the moment, it just wouldn't be worth recording because I think
No.
what I'd be feeling, just you couldn't really put into words. You couldn't present it. You just
No.
be it'd be your moment. It'd be a personal thing, you know.
Yeah. And we've
Yeah,
discussed that before, haven't we? You know, I think we've sat in my pub shed and discussed that. There's some beers that you think I should absolutely review that,
mm,
but it's such a good moment. Reviewing it takes away a bit of that moment because it's just not you and the beer, is it? And
mm,
enjoying everything about it and the mood you're in. So
yeah,
when you turn the camera on, you've got to review it.
yeah,
And you know, there's lots of beers that we do review that blow your mind, but there's just certain beers that you just know are just going to be so good that you can't turn the camera on for it.
yeah.
You just got to sit there and enjoy it and enjoy that moment because putting that camera on takes a bit of that edge off it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've all been there. I remember me and Chris were sat in his bar, and we polished off this bottle of uh oh, what was it? What was the Belgium? What was the
No, the
Belgium?
Chimay.
Was it the Chimay? No, it was the one before. It was the Golden Carolus.
Oh, the Golden Carolus,
Golden
yeah.
Carolus. We had a whiskey barrel aged bottle. I bought it back from Brussels, and we cracked open this bottle in Chris's bar, and we both just sat there, just went, oh, you know. And it was one of them beers. I bought these large bottles with the intention of sharing with people that would appreciate it. And it was one of them where I couldn't have sat and done a video about it because it wouldn't have done it justice.
No,
You know, when
no,
you
because we
get
both
beers,
went quiet, didn't we? We
yeah,
both literally did what you said. We both took a mouthful or a sip and just went, oh, and
yeah,
then we just sat quietly without even speaking for about 2 minutes.
yeah. It was just moments like that that can be completely ruined by turning on a camera.
Yeah,
It's ironic. It's ironic when we're beery YouTubers,
yeah,
beer tubers, if you like. Um, yeah, it's funny that. I don't know if anyone else has that. It's something you care about, something that's important to you. You
mm,
know, when you document it. I mean, David Longstaff has nailed it. He said it's like going to a concert. I never understand why you'd want to record it.
yeah,
Live in the
absolutely.
moment. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. It's exactly the same.
yeah,
It is the same.
yeah.
And I've done it. I've done it. I've been to gigs and tried to record a bit of it. And then when you watch it back, it's like, oh shit.
It's the same, is it?
Yeah, it looks shit on a phone. It's not
Yeah,
even anywhere near as good as what you were actually watching. You know,
no. And then
it's
you've got the people that are not only recording it, but then watching their phone whilst they're recording it. And you're like, what are you doing that for? They're on
yeah,
stage behind your phone. Look at
it's
it.
there. It's
And they're
right
watching
there.
it through their phone. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're off
What
your
am I
nut.
doing it for?
But it
No,
is horrendous. It is horrendous when you see footage now of gigs, and it's like 50% of the people in the crowd have got their phones up.
yeah,
It's mad.
it's
The
nuts.
world has gone absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, that's it.
When people are so keen to record moments of things and then tell other people that they're there
Yeah,
to kind of add some sort of credibility to themselves. It's so weird how we've become this
yeah,
in society. Everyone's got to be seen to be doing something rather than just doing it.
yeah.
You know, having a
Like,
life, you have to tell everyone else. You know,
rather than enjoying that moment,
Yeah.
being absorbed in that moment. You've got people that are recording it, putting it straight on Facebook or Instagram while they're there. And you're like, you can't be enjoying it
Hmm.
because you're too busy fanning around with your phone. Just put
Yeah.
it away. Enjoy the moment. Take a photo or two. Absolutely. But no, not filming it and watching it through your phone. It's just ridiculous.
It's odd. It's odd. I do draw the line at that when you're recording a gig that you've paid money to be at. Yeah, it's weird. I find it really, really weird. Really weird. Wolf Dog, love your reviews, Paul. Keep them coming, pal. Thank you very much, Wolf Dog. Do appreciate it. That's a cracking thumbnail as well. Cracking thumbnail. Captain Meat says, "What is Arnie's best movie?" Terminator 2.
Yeah, I think it probably would have to be one of the Terminators.
Yeah. Terminator 2 is one of my all-time favourite movies anyway. If there's a better sequel than Terminator 2, I've not seen it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was a superb sequel.
Yeah. But he's done some great films. I mean, Predator is iconic. Someone's written Kindergarten Cop. Just for Kindergarten Cop. It was funny. It was funny. Was it one of Arnie's best? I don't know. True Lies is another good one.
Oh, True Lies. Yeah, I forgot about True Lies.
That's a great flick. I think Ridley, was it? No, it was James Cameron who directed that, wasn't it? Yeah. James Cameron directed True Lies. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
That was a terrific film. It was just like a bit kind of like a James Bond type film, wasn't it? Almost. Yeah. But yeah, Schwarzenegger shone in that one. He had all these one-liners in that. It was great. There's a bit where he beats up the two geezers in the toilets, and then he sticks one of their heads in the urinal. And he goes, "Yeah, I'll cool off." That's great. Cool.
Yeah,
excellent. Yeah. There's my wife. You all right?
You are.
I am. I'm on. It's Abby.
Hello.
Abby's here. You've been at Christmas today, haven't you?
I have.
So you're kind of dressed up.
I've also been at Mum and Dad's, yeah.
Yeah. Was it all right?
Can't comment.
Oh, all right. Okay. Chris's birthday.
Happy birthday, Chris. Yeah, I didn't see it on the group chat. Sorry, I've been a bit preoccupied.
That's all good. Thank you. All good.
I've been at an Essex christening. That's all I need to say, really.
Yeah. Say no more.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can imagine.
All I'm saying is if I wore half the shoes that a lot of them were wearing, I would have been in the ditch by now.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, there was no way. I'd have broken ankles, the lot.
Did you play it safe with flats today?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll play it safe.
Absolutely.
In further news, my Fitbit is dead.
You killed it.
Dad tried to fix it, and now it's definitely not working.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
So got up.
Abby's Fitbit watch fell to pieces this morning randomly. She's very upset.
Oh, heartbroken. I never go a day without it, and now I can't have one.
It's like losing a limb, isn't it?
It is. It is literally like losing a limb, that thing. Might as well have chopped my arm off.
Might as well have done.
Not
the fun, is it?
Right, I'm going to get something comfortable. This is really...
Go to Lou again.
Lou, Joel Morris says, I was at a gig once where a guy stood in front of me, called his wife and put his phone on loudspeaker so his wife could hear the whole thing. Why didn't he just bring her?
Why did he put the phone on loudspeaker? Because he didn't need to hear her.
No, exactly that, yeah. Didn't just put a loudspeaker. Surely the music would have been loud enough. Yeah, we were just talking about people who go to gigs and then put their phone up and record the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, don't get that.
That's really odd. Just really, really weird behaviour. Grant says, best sequel, Godfather Part 2. It's a good film. It's a good film. Was it better than the original, though? Was Godfather Part 2 better than The Godfather? I'm not too sure. As I say, I can't think of too many sequels that were genuinely better than the original, and that's where Terminator 2 comes in. Because Terminator was a bloody good film, but Terminator 2 was epic. Epic. David going, Empire Strikes Back, greatest sequel ever made. Oof. See, I'm not a Star Wars fan. So that's kind of lost on me. Total Recall, a good Schwarzenegger movie. Aliens is a great shout. Went in a completely different direction, didn't it? Because Alien was a horror movie, wasn't it? Ridley Scott directed the original, I believe, and it was like the perfect science fiction horror because you rarely saw the alien in the original movie, and it had that shock aspect as well. When the alien burst out of Matey's chest in the original, it had that shock aspect. Second one, Aliens was James Cameron, wasn't it? And that was just all out action, wasn't it? It was just shooting the shit out of everything that moved. There couldn't have been two different movies. But I still think the original Alien. I still think the original Alien is for me was the better movie, but Aliens was superb. Just in terms of action, it was fantastic. It's a great shout. Best Arnie Love Child or movie line. There's leave Love Child alone. He made one mistake. You shouldn't be remembered for that one. You should be remembered for his movie lines. Absolutely. Remembered for the movie lines. Henry says, hello, Paul's missus. She's gone. She's somewhere. Oh, Clive Burrows has gone for Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. That was a good film. It wasn't really a sequel, though, was it? It was just the second part of the story, wasn't it? The follow-on. I used to hate that when they came out because they released one every Christmas, didn't they? It was really annoying because you'd go see the first one and you had to wait another year for the second part. Yeah. Bloody annoying. Oh, that was a great line. Stick around. Was that where he stabs him against a tree or something? And he leaves him hanging there. Stick around. Great one. Total Recall, he had a good line, was it? When he shoots Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone's, oh, you can't kill me. We're married. And he shoots her. He says, consider this a divorce. Great line. Martian was the top film. I have not seen Martian. I have not seen it. I heard it was good. Is that the one with Matt Damon?
Yes, it is a good film.
Matt Damon.
It's good.
Yeah, I heard it was good. I quite like Matt Damon mainly for the Bourne films that we spoke about earlier. Great films. It's not a tumor. I forgot about that. That was great. Not a tumor. That was Kindergarten Cop, wasn't it? They had that kid, that really miserable kid who was saying, oh, it might be cancer. Probably a tumor. Excellent. He has done some great ones. Get to the chopper. Great line. Get to the chopper. Back. Yeah, Predator. Classic. Absolute classic. The Predator. What a good film. And they tried to do so many remakes and sequels of that. It's completely butchered it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you see the latest one, Prey?
No.
It was it was kind of gone back in time. It was like he ended up fighting Native Americans, and some young girl eventually got the better of the Predator, which is hard to believe. But yeah, Disney. Well done, Disney. Always the logic. But yeah, that was interesting. It was interesting. Anyone else watched any good films lately? I watched that Cocaine Bear. I got around to watching that.
Oh, it's hilarious.
That made me laugh. It did make me laugh.
It's just. I think it's kind of aimed at trying to like be a piss take of being a B movie.
Yeah.
Some of it so sketchy. It is B movie style.
Yeah.
But it's just brilliant.
It's
just hilarious.
I watched that with a couple of beers and had a good laugh. And I wish I'd smoked a joint before I'd watched it, because I probably would have laughed even more. But it was properly stupid. But
Oh, yeah, it was.
Brilliantly so. Brilliantly
The
so.
whole the whole ambulance scene just had me in bits.
That's the one.
Absolute bits. Yeah.
That's the one I was going to go to.
Yeah.
Pulling the woman out of the ambulance.
Yeah. Not real. So funny.
It was
Genius.
good. It was good. But yeah, as I say, I haven't watched many good films. I'll tell you what I did watch I really liked. All Quiet on the Western Front. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I've watched that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Not bad.
I watched the dub version because I'm not. I struggle when I have to read subtitles when I'm watching a movie. Not because I'm thick, but just because just can't be bothered. You know, I just so I watched the dub version. That was a really good film.
Yeah,
Really good war film. If you like your World War movies, that was very, very good. And it's on Netflix. That was excellent.
Yeah, it was.
School of Rock with Jack Black. That was a good film. That was a good film.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that.
That is a film I could watch again and again. To be fair, School of Rock. I tell you, another film I really, really like. Moneyball. You ever seen Moneyball?
No, not even heard of it.
Excellent film. It's based on the true story of the Oakland A's baseball team, and the Moneyball theory has kind of carried into football. So there's a guy who he took on a job at the Oakland A's baseball team, and he basically used stats and data to determine what sort of players that he needed to buy, rather than just having scouts sent out to look at players. So he was using numbers. So he was like the first. Him and this guy who was like a mathematician that he nicked from another baseball team. They were like the first sports franchise to actually use data and numbers to put together a winning team. And the Oakland A's at the time were, pathetic. They couldn't get anywhere near the budget of the Yankees or the Boston Red Sox and stuff like that. But they put this team together, and they nearly won the World Series. It came ridiculously close. They put together like a record winning streak in like MLB history, and it's Brad Pitt is in the movie, and he plays the main role really well. And Jonah Hill plays he's like data analyst, data guy. Really good film. And Captain Meat is just elaborated. So John Henry, who was the guy at the time owned the Boston Red Sox, he then bought Liverpool, and they used the same thing. So some of the signings that Liverpool have made in recent years under Klopp have been made using data analysts, and using rather than signing stars that everyone knows are good. They've been picking up the data on players that have kind of gone under the radar and then become stars, So, yeah, if you ever get the opportunity to watch Moneyball, well worth it. Good film. Really good film. Really good. Catsmeet says, what's the difference between Adolf Hitler and Walt Disney? Adolf was crazy and Walt Disney.
Yeah, I'm struggling with that one.
To the tumbleweed. Rolling across there. The Lighthouse, messed up, was great. I never saw The Lighthouse. Was that the one with Matey from Twilight? I think Robert Pattinson. Is that his name? I think it's Robert Pattinson. I think it's Robert Pattinson. Who was in Lighthouse. Never saw it though. The most unanswerable question. Favorite Bond film? Ooh. Favorite Bond film? I think I can answer it. I think Skyfall. Skyfall. I think Skyfall is my favorite Bond movie.
Yeah, I think the Daniel Craig era has been pretty decent. But I wasn't the biggest fan of Casino Royale.
No.
The last one he did, I thought was superb. I don't remember what that was called now. What's the last one he did?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. What was it called?
Oh.
I went to see it. I went to the cinema to see it.
Yeah, what was it called? I thought that was absolutely superb. Skyfall, I agree. Incredible.
Skyfall, and then there was the one with the Day of the Dead thing. What was that one called?
Well, I'm useless at remembering names sometimes.
So am I. That's bad, isn't it? What was No Time to Die? Says
Yeah.
David Longstaff. No time to. What was the one before that? It was one word, wasn't it? One word.
Oh,
Bloody hell! There's too many people who know what they're talking about. And they had to meet Spectre.
oh, Spectre was good.
Showing my age here, man. I can't remember shit.
No,
Spectre.
I generally think the Daniel Craig ones have been the best. The Skyfall was superb. I agree. But I did like the last one. Spectre was great.
No, I think I can understand what Captain Meat's on about here. So, what's the difference between Adolf Hitler and Walt Disney? Adolf was crazy, and Walt Disney. That it's easy. He's written. Say Disney is the Scottish person. Disney. So Adolf was crazy, and Walt Disney. Adolf was crazy, and Walt Disney. I don't know. Disney. I still don't get it. Still don't get it.
Adolf was crazy.
Walt Disney. So,
I can't do a Scottish accent anyway. But
Walt
right in
Disney.
my head.
Yeah, we master. Walt Disney. My Scottish accent is awful. Day of the Dead, Spectre. Yeah, Spectre. Yeah, it was the Day of the Dead one. That was quite good. That was good. But Skyfall was the one for me. Where he nicked Q, chucked her in the old Aston Martin, drove up to Scotland.
Yeah.
And they had the big fight at the end in that old house.
Mm.
That was a great scene. And Javier Bardem was the villain.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
You ever seen No Country for Old Men?
Yeah, well, I can't remember it. It's so long ago I saw that. My memory will not let me remember that. Yeah.
Amazing movie. So Javier Bardem plays a hitman in that one. Essentially, so is it Josh Brolin? He finds a drug deal gone bad, and Josh Brolin kind of stumbles across it and finds a bag full of money. And in that bag of money is a sensor. So it's like a tracker, so people know where that bag of money's going. And then Javier Bardem's character goes seeking out that money. And it's filmed in on the Texas-Mexico border. And the Coen brothers did it. And it was terrific. And Javier Bardem's character in it was just this psychopathic hitman, essentially. But he played it so well. It's kind of unsettling. You know, in the same way like that Heath Ledger's Joker was really unsettling. Like you genuinely didn't know what he was going to do next. The Javier Bardem's portrayal of the character in that was similar. It was excellent. It was excellent. Really worth watching. If you've not seen it, No Country for Old Men. Really recommend that film if you get a chance. Fantastic.
Yeah, I'll have to go and have a rewatch because I just can't remember it. I know I've watched it, but I just cannot recall any of it. So I'll have to go back and have a little rewatch on that one.
Yeah, no, it's well worth it, that one. Really good film. David says, speaking of recent films, the new Mission Impossible is amazing. Wow.
Yeah, you see, I've got issue with it because it's a part one, isn't it? And,
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I can't be arsed with that because you're going to have to. I bet it's a year before they bring out part two. I just can't be bothered to wait. So I'll wait until part two's out and just watch them both. I can't be dealing with this part one and part two with a year gap in between.
That's ballsy, isn't it? That's ballsy. Yeah. Considering cinemas were shut for the best part of 18 months and they've come out with a two-parter.
And I bet it's amazing. I bet it's absolutely phenomenal. But I can't. If there was only a couple of months gap between them, I'd go and see it. It's not going to be, is it? It's going to be a year at least.
Yeah, probably.
I just can't be bothered.
That's one thing I do give Tom Cruise. He does a lot of his own stunts, doesn't he, still?
He does still as well.
Which is obscene. I mean, how old must Tom Cruise be now? He's got to be in his 60s, isn't he?
He's got to be pushing that, isn't he? He's got to be in his 60s.
I'm going to Google it.
He's got to be late 50s, if not into his early 60s.
Let's have a look. Tom freaking Cruise. He's 61.
He's 61.
Yeah.
Shit.
I didn't even need to look it up properly. I just wrote in Tom Cruise and press return. It came up 61. It's like everyone else in the world is asking, apparently.
Yeah. He's got some kahunas, isn't he? He's a massive adrenaline junkie, isn't he?
Yeah. And some of the stuff he does is like riding a motorbike off the edge of a cliff and that. So he doesn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Drop your phone. You don't need to do it, but he does it. So,
And
yeah.
his flying skills are phenomenal. He can fly the arse out the jets, can't he? He's got multiple jets that he owns, and he's an incredible pilot.
He's a pilot as well, which is mental. He's lived a life, that lad, hasn't he?
Oh, he certainly has, hasn't he?
He's lived a life. He's another Schwarzenegger, really. He's never said no to anything.
No.
I'll tell you a film I've never seen, Cocktail. You ever seen Cocktail?
Yeah, that's a great film.
What is that even about?
It's just, I can't remember the ins and outs of it. It was back in the 80s. It was probably the last time I did actually see it. But he's a bartender. There's a story to him being a barman and a cocktail maker, and it's worth a watch. I need to go. That's another one I need to go back and revisit. It's been years and years since I've seen it.
I need to watch it.
That was cool. He was also Rain Man. I thought he was very good in that.
Oh, Rain Man was fantastic. Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman as matey.
Yeah,
What was his what was his condition?
He was autistic, wasn't he?
Autistic, yeah, just autism. So he was counting cards, wasn't he?
Yeah.
In the end, there, because he could just he was all about numbers and that. That is a great movie.
Yeah.
Rain Man, goodness me, Dustin Hoffman, what an actor!
Yeah.
What an actor!
I think Dustin Hoffman just brought the best out of Tom Cruise in that as well.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise was quite young then, but Tom Cruise was amazing in that.
It must have been. I saw a clip from A Few Good Men recently, where Tom Cruise is interrogating Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
How young did Jack Nicholson look?
I know.
You've seen Jack Nicholson lately? Jack Nicholson looks like an old man.
Oh, he does, yeah.
Like he doesn't give a shit anymore.
No.
Doesn't care.
No.
But he goes to basketball games with his hair all over the place, wearing like his dressing gown and that. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm beyond caring. I'm Jack Nicholson. I don't give a shit. But even Jack Nicholson looked a hell of a lot younger then. You know.
Yeah, that was a good film. A Few Good Men.
Yeah, it was.
Film.
Was a good movie. It's just a thing. We're just not watching. We're not seeing good films anymore. We're going back to all these old films, and you're trying to think, what was the last like genuinely brilliant film?
Yeah.
I honestly think the last genuinely brilliant film I watched. I'm going to balls up the name of it. I forgot what year it was. 1917.
Yeah.
I think that was the last genuinely brilliant film I watched.
Yeah.
I can't think of too many others other than that. 1917, I think, was the last genuinely great movie I watched.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Yeah, that is very, very good. Have you seen Fury?
Yes.
That's a good movie.
That was quite good.
Yeah.
That was quite good. With Brad Pitt in his tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was good. I went to the movies. I went to the cinema to see 1917, and I was just blown away by it. It was a clever film. It was almost that kind of, you felt like you were going with them, didn't you?
Yeah.
The way it was shot like it was one take.
Yeah.
But obviously it wasn't. It was just very, very clever. Very good film. Apparently A Few Good Men was 31 years ago. Wow. Bloody hell.
Wow.
No wonder Jack Nicholson looked younger. I'll do it.
Oh.
Bloody hell, I was 8. Don't make any sense.
Was it really that long ago?
I was an equal person.
That's nuts.
What do you think of Old Peculiar? I like Old Peculiar.
They are like Old Peculiar. Good old Theakston's Old Peculiar. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Old Peculiar. I'd love to have Old Peculiar on cask. Never had it on cask.
But you know, the amount of times they've had that in the Globe, and we've always missed it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh. When was the last time we went to the Globe? It's been months.
They did have I know last week they had a pretty good lineup. They had was it Exmoor or Dartmoor Brewery. Exmoor.
Dartmoor.
The JL Ale. That's a good beer.
That's good beer. Yeah.
But they've had that on recently. What else have they had on recently? They've had a couple of decent beers on in the Globe recently.
Yeah.
But every time we go, you go there and the fucking pump clips turn around and they've sold it all.
All the good beers gone, isn't it?
And then we're just back on. We're just like, oh, well, we'll have Warsteiner then.
Yeah, never mind. We'll have something different. Never mind. Never mind. Perhaps what are you doing tomorrow night? Perhaps we'll go to the pub tomorrow evening.
Yeah, I think I'm about, Yeah, I'll double check. I'll ping you a message tomorrow.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Cruise's first major flick was Taps. He played a cadet. I can't even read. He played a cadet that went on a murder spree. I've never heard of that one.
Never heard of it.
I'll tell you what I was talking about. Cocktail reminded me. I mean, I've never seen Cocktail, but it was the whole bar thing. Reminded me of Roadhouse.
Oh, Roadhouse was a great film.
Roadhouse is genuinely one of the best films I've ever seen.
Superb, isn't it?
It was so good. I know it's like it's a parody of itself almost nowadays, Roadhouse. And I know they did an episode, Family Guy, where Peter Griffin took the mick. And he just started kicking people and saying Roadhouse after he kicked them. But genuinely, Roadhouse is amazing. It is such a good film.
Yeah.
Such a good film. If you've not seen Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze is brought in to be like the security in this rough bar where they have live music and it just kicks off every night. And Patrick Swayze deals with it by essentially kicking people for about 2 hours and then gets off with this really fit nurse in the hospital. It's just it's a proper 80s man film. It is excellent. It is excellent.
Yeah.
So good.
Have you ever seen the film The Principal?
No, I don't think I have.
You see, it keeps popping up in my head, but I can't remember the names of the actors. So I thought, if you say no, I haven't seen it, and then you're going to ask me who's in it, and I'm like, I don't know. Is it? Oh, it's. You'd love it. You'd love The Principal. Yeah, that's an late 80s film. And because I'm on my phone. I don't normally use my phone for live streams. I normally use the laptop, so I'd be sitting here searching it on my phone, but I can't. If anyone has seen The Principal, what's the name of the lead actor in it? But you'd like that.
There you go. Who's got the knowledge? Principal, lead actor.
I bet Jim knows the answer.
Oh God, yes. Sam Elliott. That guy's got the most amazing voice.
Yeah, and he just.
And he was a good-looking boy. He was a good-looking boy back in the day, Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
I think he turned grey when he was about 12. But he worked it, did Sam Elliott. He had that great voice. Yeah, and he came in as Swayze's mate. Oh God, yes, the Jeff Healey band, the house band. Yeah. What was the name of the song they played at the end? I think it was called When the Night Falls or something. When the Night Comes Falling, something like that. If you Google that song by the Jeff Healey band, that is like the end credit song to Roadhouse, which just kind of finishes it perfectly. It's just this killer track. Yeah, excellent movie. Roadhouse, great film, genuinely great film. The Fugitive is a shout for good action films. So that's Harrison Ford, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Fugitive, yeah. I haven't seen that for a long time. I do remember it being quite good.
It is a good film. What's the other big actor in it? Can't remember. I'm so useless with names.
Was it Gene? No, it wasn't.
No. I can picture him. I can see him. And he was in Men in Black.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones, yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, he was good in it.
Jim says, did you know that Dog the Bounty Hunter is quite short? I met him years ago at the Hawaii Sheriff booking desk. He was bringing in a prostitute. Couldn't help but notice his boots. That's great. That is great. Because he does seem quite tall. Dog the Bounty Hunter on telly.
It does, doesn't it? It's funny what telly does, isn't it?
He's had to work done, didn't he, that geezer? Dog the Bounty Hunter. His face is a right mess.
Yeah, it is.
And not like from fighting. That's from plastic surgery. Yeah. There's a T-shirt doing the rounds with Dog the Bounty Hunter's face on it, and it says Taylor Swift written underneath it, which I found very funny. Very funny. But yeah, speaking of boots, I've got to buy myself some cowboy boots. I'm going down to Nashville to buy some cowboy boots, apparently.
So,
Got to be done. Fat bloke, cowboy boots. That'd be great. That'd be fine.
love
That'd be fine.
sound effects. Great.
Jeff Healey band. Yeah, Singer was blind. Had to play guitar on his lap. Yeah. That was pretty amazing. When anyone can play an instrument when they're blind, I always find that absolutely amazing. Tommy Lee Jones was good in Volcano. Volcano. Oof.
Oh, God.
Blimey. That was one of them mid-90s disaster movies that were very popular at the time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Deep Impact, Armageddon, Volcano, Dante's Peak. I'm pretty sure it all came out the same week. It was either asteroids hitting the Earth or volcanoes going off in the 90s.
Yeah.
We were all supposed to die. Independence Day. What else was there?
Perfect Storm.
Twister.
Yeah.
We were all getting killed by Mother Nature back then. It was, that's what it was all about. The world was being destroyed in one way or another in the 90s. It was a good time to be alive. Volcanoes. A good film, I thought. Bad ratings, but I liked it. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Ratings don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Where do ratings come from? From someone else.
Yeah.
From someone else who didn't like it. So it doesn't mean anything, does it? I love that when people review films and review music and they think that their opinion means anything. Love that. People get employed. People get paid to review films and they think that their opinion means shit. That is funny. That is funny to me.
Yeah.
That is funny to me. You get these films that win Oscars that couldn't hold a torch to Roadhouse.
No.
And Roadhouse has the piss taken out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, sorry, what would you rather watch, Roadhouse or I don't know? I couldn't even tell you films that have won Oscars lately because they're boring. They're political. Oh, what was that shite? What was that one that won an Oscar? A Western, and it had Benedict Cumberbatch in it. I can't remember
What was that called?
Was it called The Dog or something like that? It had a really shitty name. Didn't make any sense.
Can't remember.
It was the film. The film gave me COVID. It was awful. It was awful. Absolutely one of the worst westerns I've ever seen in my life. It was so.
I did watch it. In fact, I didn't even finish it. I was watching it with Rachel, and I said, "I cannot watch any more of this.
Yeah,
I can't watch any more."
It was critically acclaimed.
Yeah,
all the critics loved it. Couldn't do any wrong. It was
dreadful.
I'm pretty sure it was called The Dog.
Might well have been.
Yeah,
it was awful.
It was so weird. It was so stupid. I sat there watching it. I thought this film is absolute gash.
Yeah, and I kept persevering. I kept pushing on. But then I just hit the point where I thought, I can't watch any more of this. I'm going to have to turn it off.
It was absolutely horrific. And it won so many awards, Oscar nominations, all that. It was absolute gash. And that's been put there by critics who have been paid to say things about it. It was horrific. Awful movie. Awful movie. Genuinely awful. And then the people take the mick out of movies like, like Volcano and Roadhouse and Deep Impact and all that. You'd watch them over them any other day of the week.
Yeah.
It's like, what was the highest grossing films over the last few years have been the Marvel films.
Yeah.
But they've never been nominated for Oscars or anything, have they, really? Apart from Black Panther.
Yeah.
And why was that?
Yeah, it's all political, isn't it?
Because there was a political agenda there, wasn't there? It was it's shocking. It was shocking. So people who get paid to review movies, honestly, go away. Get a real job. Get a real job. We're on to you. We're on to you. I need another beer. Got an empty glass.
Going for on this occasion.
Ooh. I might have a smoked lager, you know.
Oh, good man. Love a smoked lager. What you got? What smoked lager have you got? Share.
Sure. I've got a Klausen from Schlenkerla.
Ah, Schenkler, yeah, boy.
Schlenkerla.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
the Klausen. I've never had a Klausen before, so this is a new one on me.
It's fantastic. That is.
4.5%, so nice and sessionable.
Yeah, it's lush.
I've actually got a
Oh,
proper Schlenkerla on the bottle cap.
their beers are incredible. I think I've had pretty much almost every Schenkler there is.
It's actually got the Schlenkerla man on the cap, this one.
I could join you on a Schenkler. I've got one, but it's an alcohol-free one.
Ooh, that is very controversial.
Yeah.
Hence the ooh noise. Do it.
Yeah, it's the only one I've never had, and I thought I've had their Airbox, their Marzens, that one that you've got, Carlsen. I've had them all, and so surely their alcohol-free one has got to be a belter.
Oh, that aroma. That aroma
Yeah,
is going to be crack the bottle.
It's incredible, isn't it? The aroma.
So that Doppelbock, you gave me their Doppelbock.
Yeah.
You gave me a bottle of that, and that's on the shelf of honour behind me.
It's a great beer, isn't it?
Genuinely one of the best beers I've ever drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, the Airbox, fantastic as well. They're just, I love a smoked beer, but no one does them better than Schenkler.
No, absolutely. I mean, they were the originators, weren't they? That's somewhere I'd love to go. Is the Schlenkerla Brewery, and just see their underground vats and that, and see where they whack under where they smoke the malts. They do like a bonfire essentially. They got caves, haven't they? They got caves under the brewery where the temperature is perfect for like storing of lager.
Yeah, they're salt caves as well, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that is mental. I still, when I haven't had a smoked beer for a while, and you go back to one, that still blows my mind. It smells like smoked meat.
It does.
Like smoked sausage.
It's porky, isn't it?
Yeah, that's incredible. Absolutely.
Smoked on a barbecue.
There she is. 4.5% Krausen.
They're unreal.
Cheers. Prost.
Cheers. Did you get that from Trembling Madness?
I did indeed.
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard. Oh dear.
They're just incredible. That's why I had to buy their alcohol-free one. I thought it's got to be a good beer, because you go back to Schenkler's history, and they were brewing beer at like 1.2% years ago, not for an alcohol-free basis, because it was more hygienic to drink their 1.2% beer than it was to drink the local water. So they were brewing beer with alcohol in it to kind of knock out some of the bacteria. So that's generally where they kind of started, really.
That is, like I say, there's the German heritage. I don't think there is a stronger heritage in the world, really, than the Germans. Like I say, we talk about craft beer and craft lagers, and when they get it right, we get very excited. But the Germans, they just do it for fun.
Yeah,
they're knocking out stuff like that.
Centuries, haven't they?
Yeah, it is. It's on my to-do list. I'd love to go to Bamberg, go to the Schlenkerla brewery, and just drink it, because they still keep it in wooden barrels, which I love. So I bought a keg of it. I bought a keg of their Marzen, and it came in a keg that with like a wooden barrel wrap around it to make it look like a barrel, which I thought was lovely. But yeah, apparently their beer, when you go to the brewery, they will take the cork out and pour a beer for you directly from the barrel still. I love that idea. I love that idea. You know.
Yeah, so we need to sort out some road trips.
We really do. We really do. Yeah. No, it gotta be done. So I need to get America out of my system, and then Germany next. Germany's next on the agenda, definitely. The conversation has moved on to cops tasing people. Are the cops in the UK using tasers?
Yeah, they have done for years.
Yeah.
They're not routinely armed with tasers, if you want to use the word armed. Most police forces in the UK ask to be a taser unit. Yeah, we've got armed officers that carry guns. They all carry tasers as well. But it's not issued taser. You have to ask to be a taser officer in the UK.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You don't get one as standard.
No, and it's not like you have to apply and, you know, from what I understand, you don't need to have like an outstanding reputation or whatever. It's just if you want to carry a taser, you apply to carry one. It's not, but yeah, it's just not standard issue.
Mm. It's interesting, isn't it? And we got Jim, who's served in the police force in the States. I mean, he would have had a standard gun. I mean, what would you have had, Jim? Would you have like a standard Beretta or something like that? Something you would have had on you? That's alien to us.
Yeah.
They have sticks they can smack people across the back of the legs with if people get a bit naughty around here. But yeah, the only time you really see automatic weapons on coppers is at train stations.
Yeah, I mean, certainly in Bedfordshire where we live, there's quite a few armed patrols around, but probably not enough.
Mm.
But I think tasers. I think tasers should be standard issue now for UK cops.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The things ain't getting better out there, are they? Really?
No, you look at knife crime's out of control. Assaults on, all emergency workers, be it paramedics, cops, even firefighters. The assaults that they're all going through. Yeah, violent crime's on the rise. No matter what the Tory government say, violent crime is on the rise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think UK cops should be standard issue.
Yeah, no, I agree. These people need to learn. Like I say, it is gradually getting worse out there.
Yeah.
And I think coppers should be able to protect themselves, detain these people. But yeah, I don't know if it's. I don't know. I don't think guns are the answer. I still don't believe in guns being the answer.
No, I don't either. But it all needs a shake up. Not. Yeah, the police have got powers, but then the police put people in courts, and the court judicial system just gives out pathetic sentences. The whole judicial system in the UK needs a massive review.
Oh God, yeah.
It does. It needs a complete overhaul. The sentences that get given out for some horrific crimes, you look at it and you think that doesn't put people off committing those types of crimes. When people are committing the worst kind of GBHs and getting 2 years, that would be out probably in a year, barely that. Our whole system, and knife stabbings is constant, isn't it?
It's all the time.
Yeah, across the whole country.
Yeah,
we're just being let down by the judicial system. It just needs a complete overhaul.
Yeah, totally agree. These people are almost being given a slap on the wrist for what they do.
Yeah.
I saw one the other day. There was a guy who was recording himself speeding on the motorway.
Mm.
He was like recording himself driving, weaving in and out of the lanes and that. I reckon at one point he was doing 130 miles an hour. He lost control and crashed into a car that was broken down at the side of the motorway.
Right.
The woman was stood next to the car. They reckon it hit her at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And he got 6 years.
She was pregnant, wasn't she?
Yeah.
He got
12. Yeah.
He got 12
That's
years.
right.
But he's got loads of previous. That's what, he's taken a life of a woman. He's taken the life of an unborn child.
Yeah.
She had other kids. I think she had another kid. So that leaves a kid without a parent, a husband without a wife. He's got loads of previous for driving without insurance and loads of other motoring offences.
Yeah.
And within the judicial system, in the last 2 years, they changed the sentencing guidelines for causing death by dangerous to the maximum sentence is life in prison. So him getting 12 years is a joke. considering he's killed 2 people effectively.
Yeah.
The previous he's got, he'd be out in 7 years.
That's shocking, isn't it?
And he got banned from driving for 13 years. But I want to know when that ban kicks in. So I bet it's already kicked in. So when he comes out of prison, he'll probably only have a couple of years because he'll probably be out in 7. He's been banned for 13. So he'll probably only have 3 years of actually effectively being banned because the previous 7 he's been in prison.
Yeah.
So it's all wrong. He should have got longer than 12 years, especially with his history or his previous motoring convictions.
Yeah.
It's just wrong. The whole system's wrong.
It's a bit of an insult, isn't it, really? Bit of an insult. The family must be absolutely devastated.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And he showed no remorse, apparently, in the courtroom.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. Proper piece of shit. Yeah. Yeah. Justice system in the country is a joke. It is from the bottom up. It is. It's pathetic. People are getting 2 years. People selling dodgy fire sticks.
It's a fair point, isn't it?
True, isn't it?
It's
Not
so
really.
true.
People get 15 years for that.
Yeah, there was a big group. They've been in the news recently, haven't they? They've called them like some massive organised crime group that were selling a streaming service so you could get all the football matches or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were allegedly raking in millions. They probably were, to be fair. They've got massive sentences.
Wow.
Yeah. As David says, pedos for looking at indecent images of kids and distributing them get a couple of years. It's just all wrong.
Mad. I might have to give me fire stick mate a text, see if he replies. Bloody great they are, them things. Yeah, justice system is a mess, but then again, so is the rehabilitation of offenders.
Agreed.
What rehabilitation?
There is none.
Yeah.
There is none. The amount of people that come out of prison, certainly if they've been, addicted to drugs, there's nothing for them. Nothing.
Yeah.
So they're going to go back to what's safe to them, aren't they? And it's going to be the life they had before. There is no proper. You can rehabilitate someone in prison, but it's what comes after prison. That's the difference. It's the aftercare after prison that people are not getting.
Yeah.
They get put in a halfway. If they haven't got a home, they get put in a halfway house with people that are drug addicts or criminals. So they're putting them straight back into an environment that got them in trouble in the first place. It's just it's fucked up. It winds me up. It really does.
Yeah. There are groups out there doing some really good things. Have you heard of Buddy?
No.
No, there's a company called Buddy, and they give jobs to people who are out of prison. And I hadn't heard of them, but they had their summer do at our brewery a few weeks back. We did a big summer party for them. There's about 100 staff there in our garden. And I'll tell you what, genuinely, they're one of the nicest groups of people I've ever met.
Yeah.
But the staff who actually organised the whole thing, and there were people coming into the bar and they had tags on, around their ankles and that. And I was like, well, what's going on here? And then someone explained what they do, and I was like, it will make sense. I've got a bunch of criminals in my bar, but they were genuinely lovely. Everything about it was really, really good, like really good vibes. Just giving people a second opportunity.
That's what there's not enough of, is there? There's just not enough of that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Just because you've been to prison and you've got a criminal record, it doesn't automatically make you a bad person. Circumstances in people's lives cause them to do what they do. Yeah, there are nasty bastards out there, but there's some people that go to prison that have just got involved in something because of their life circumstances, but are probably decent people.
Yeah.
And it's when they come out of prison, there's just not enough groups like Buddy. There's just not enough of them to help these people, and so it's just easy to revert back to what they did before because that's what they know.
Yeah,
and
that's what
the whole system's a joke.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's a damn shame. It really is. There's some balls in this country. David, hello, mate. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Paul, are you going to the Great British Beer Festival? I am. I'm going to be there on Tuesday, the 1st of August. I will be signing books from 12 o'clock. So get there quick before they kick me out. I love that joke. Never gets old. But yes, I will be there. It is Tuesday, the 1st of August, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got that right. Trade session. So it's 11 till 5. 11 till 5, I'll be there. If you're at the trade session, try and blag a ticket. Just tell them you work for a brewery. It's easy. I hope they're not listening. It's come and have a beer. Come and say hello. Anyone who might be going there, come and say hello. I love it when people say hello at beer festivals. It's great. Jim says a few years back, I tasted a dude outside the bar who was acting up. He resisted, so I let him have it. Unfortunately, he fell. His head hit a parking berm, and it made a sound like thumping of water metal. Oh, Jesus!
Heads hitting concrete is an awful sound.
That's why you don't get in. That's why you don't get into fights.
No,
because you can twat someone, and then they go down, and it's their head hitting the floor. It's just not worth it. Just not worth it. You can get done for murder.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, you're going to prison for manslaughter minimum.
Yeah.
If you watch videos of people getting tasered, they just go down like a tree, don't they? It's just
rigid. They do. Yeah. I saw I saw some footage of a woman getting done in a Walmart in America, and she literally did that. It was amazing. She was proper giving it the beans. Yeah. Absolutely giving it someone, and she just went solid and just like timber down.
Yeah.
Crushed a stall of Oreos. Most American thing I've ever seen. It was great. But she deserved it. She was being an art dick. But Tommy McAllister. Goodness me, I've not seen that name for a while. Hello, mate. How are you? Says, hope you're both well. Same to you, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. There we go. Cracking the jokes. Henry, he's going to be a laugh. I like that. Dave says, cool, and Tuesday as well. Be good, but I've only got tickets for the night. I'll hang around. We'll sneak around late. We'll meet up for a beer, mate. We'll meet around. We can always blag it. I'm on Oma Lager at the moment for Morrison's. Really good lager. Sant Oma? Am I reading that right? Sant Oma Lager.
Well, those little stubby bottles, the St. Omias.
Oh, is that what it is? They are little stubbies.
I'm sure they are. Get them in a 12-pack, little stubbies. I'm sure that's St. Omia.
I've never had a good French lager.
I don't mind some of them little cheesy little French stubbies. They're not bad.
Saint Omer. Yeah.
Sure they're them little stubbies.
But if they're good, I'll have a look. I've never actually put any of them stubbies on this channel because I associate them with being horrendously bad beers, and I've just never bothered. You know,
they're not as bad as you think. To be fair, but I've never reviewed them.
I discovered them. I discovered them when I was supposed to be studying for my GCSEs. French stubbies. When we realised there was a shop where we could go in and buy packs of 12 of them, and we literally just drank them and played Smackdown on the PlayStation rather than revising for our GCSEs. Anyone who knows Smackdown, mate, on the PlayStation, that was a great game. You could lose days playing that game. It was awesome. That was my youth. That was what I was supposed to be doing when revising for my GCSEs. It was drinking French stubby bottles and playing Smackdown on the PlayStation. Good times, man. Good times. That's what it's all about. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of love for these beers. Saint Omer, drinking Saint Omer. Decent French blonde. David says, yep. 12-pack stubs. Grant says, got to have them cold. Oh, God, yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you don't want to be drinking a warm French lager. Jeez. Not the one. Not the one.
Wait.
Definitely not the one. I had some good. The French craft beer is getting better. I had a couple of decent, couple of pale ales when I was in France earlier in the year. It's getting better, but they still can't brew a lager. They still don't know what they're doing. Bless them. Bless the French. Beautiful country, lovely accent, but they can't brew beer. Not yet. Not yet. Jim says, love you guys. Great live stream, Paul and Chris. Appreciate it, Jim. Appreciate you being here as ever. As ever. It was nice drinking a beer with you. It was nice to drink the same beer with you. I felt like I was there. Felt like I was there with you. I tried to get Shark on, Kevin, over in California, but apparently he was too busy. He was too busy. We're trying to get me in there. Dave says he puts them in the freezer. There you go. That's a good shout. Get a 12-pack, whack them in the freezer. I suppose he's good for a Barbie. What's the ABV on them? How much alcohol have they got in them? They got to be light, haven't they? 4% tops. That'd be interesting. See how much booze they got in them. Just referring back to this, I'm on a German smoked lager, or the Krausen. It's a Krausen, and it is delicious. It is delicious. Drinking a beer and then smelling like smoked sausage as you're doing it. It's still a very unique thing. And it's like Chris is going to join me, but he's got a blue cap on it.
Gonna have to do it. Need a glass. It's Sam Smith's glass. It's the Handler, but it is low alcohol. It's 1.2%.
Oof. Look at that. Standard label, just with that bit of blue rather than the red. Cheers, David. Thank you for joining us, mate. Appreciate the chat. Lovely to hear from you as ever, mate. Thank you for the support. I love you. You take care of yourself. Did you? Yes, we did have this chat, didn't we? That was weird because I was freaked out when you brought it up last time. I did. I got to Cambier and I was drinking. What was the beer that stood out? They did like a New England Pale, and I was actually. I don't know why. It's just me being an ignorant Englishman. I couldn't believe how good the quality was with their New England Pale in Lille. I was very, very impressed. I just assumed I was going to be drinking shit beer when I was there. But yeah, one of the restaurants we went to on the first day, they were selling Cambier. And then I went there and I was very impressed. Really, really good beer. They just don't drink beer. It still baffles me when you get the chart for what the amount of beer that they drink per person in Europe, and we are way down. So the Czech Republic, they reckon they drink more beer per person than anywhere else in the world. I think the United Kingdom were like in the 30s or something, but they drink beer in smaller measures. It's the general gist I get. They drink beer in smaller measures, but they drink it a lot. Whereas we tend to drink sessions. We do sessions rather than drink every day, I guess, in England. That's got another head on it.
For a 1.2% beer, the carbonation in there is mental.
Look at that. Still growing.
Smells incredible. So 1.2%.
I'm intrigued.
It just smells like the barbecue I've cooked tonight.
Oof.
Let's just get cracking.
Get stuck in, son. It's actually the moment of truth.
That's probably one of the best low alcohol beers I've ever had. It's going to be light on the body. It's 1.2%.
Yeah.
But that smokiness is all there.
Oh.
It's definitely a toned down version. But that's all it is. It's just a toned down version. But it's all there.
So they've basically made a table beer, haven't they, from their lager?
That's fantastic. That's
awesome. I love it when they do that. We want to do that at work. We want to make a table beer because you do get a lot that gets lost between the boil and the mash. And you kind of think we could store that and make a table beer out of it. And I wonder if that's what they've done. They've made a table beer, but a smoked table beer. Oof. Nice.
That's superb. I could drink it. The only thing that worries me, well, not worries me, but I don't think I'd want to session these smoke beers. I think they're going to give you the most diabolical headache. That is my only
Yeah.
concern with them. I just think they just reek of headache material.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It is that smokiness. It's the smokiness. I think with Schlenkerla beers, I don't think I've ever done any more than 2 in a row.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it helps that they don't get them in crates over here, because if they
Yeah.
did, I'd be in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. I could imagine a Schlenkerla hangover to be something quite epic.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, that's very good. 1.2%. That's crazy.
The Germans, they know what they're doing. Well, I feel like an absolute rebel drinking a 4.5% Krausen. Dave says 4.5 the export. What I've got, they do. Oh right, 4.5%. Well, they've got to do a 2.5 one as well. So these are the stubbies. They're 4.5%.
That's right. They're stubby, 4.5, isn't it?
And I tell them, might have to have a look. I wonder if they got it in our local Mozzers.
They've got it in Asda. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. They've got. I think they've got 3 different types of those French stubbies.
I'll have a look. I'll definitely have a look. John Woods says the Top Gun soundtrack is fantastic.
Oh, they're just.
Danger Zone. What a track.
Yeah.
What a track that one is.
Fantastic.
Dave says, Paul, we've still not done that. I haven't. And for good reason.
That's dreadful, that shit.
I'm scared of it, if I'm honest.
I've had it. I didn't review it. I was going to review it, and then every part of my being just said, no, do not review this. This does not need any publicity.
Well, it's not a beer, is it? It's
No, it's an alcoholic, caffeine. It's just wrongness in a can. Everything about it's wrong, in my opinion.
alcohol and
High caffeine with
alcohol and caffeine together. That doesn't sound. I mean, I suppose a vodka Red Bull. It's
but that's yeah. It makes me kind of sound hypocritical because years ago I used to love a vodka and Red Bull.
yeah.
But then Dragon Soups, the way they're marketed, the way it's just they're just wrong, and they're high ABV. They're about 8%, aren't they? Or something
Yeah, they are quite. Because my corner shop sell them, and I've looked at them, and I'm just like, I don't want to drink it. It would make a good video, and I don't want to, like I say, David's asking if I can review it. I've got reservations, mainly because it's not a beer. That's my first reservation. But it's a boozy energy drink. That's oof. Seems like madness. Seems like madness to me. And that's what'll happen. I will slate it. I will slate it. Can you imagine a live stream? Because I think in my shop they've got like 4 different flavors.
Yeah.
Imagine a live stream just sessioning all these different dragon soups. I'll be off my tits.
Yeah. You'll be drunk and buzzing around like someone on speed.
Yeah. Be an absolute mess. An absolute mess. I'll think about it. I will still think about it. I'm just not sure it's the content the channel needs, but it might be funny. It might be funny. I'll give it that. Joel says, is Dragon Soup as bad as the Prime Energy? See, man, I don't mind an energy drink. I don't mind an energy drink. I have a Monster quite often.
Yeah.
It's the booze and the caffeine. I'm just not sure how that's going to react.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a try, and if it's worth it, I might do a video. If it's worth it, but we'll see. We'll see. I can't see it somehow. I can't see it being worth it.
I don't mind an energy drink. If I'm doing a long drive, feel a bit tired, I stop at a service station, I'll have a can of Red Bull or a Monster.
Yeah.
I don't cane loads of them. But yeah, it's that alcohol, high alcohol volume
Yeah.
with a load of caffeine in an energy drink. It just ain't right.
No, I agree. It does put me off a bit. Have you tried Tyson Fury's energy drink? I haven't. No,
Like,
I haven't. They sell it in Iceland, don't they?
yeah, they sell it in a lot of places. I've seen it in quite a few places, but I can't. I'd like to say I don't mind an energy drink. I've had Monsters, the other one that's similar to Monster. I can't remember what it's called.
Relentless.
Relentless, that's the one.
Yeah.
But I've gone off Tyson Fury, so I can't ever drink his energy drink.
He's a dusser. He's a dusser.
I think I generally think the whole heavyweight division is just a joke.
It's a yeah.
He's a joke now. Tyson Fury is now a joke.
Yeah, it's become a circus, isn't it? The heavyweight division.
None of them will fight each other. There's no way they can't put deals together. I refuse to believe that. None of them want to fight each other.
Yeah,
it's just an absolute shambles. The heavyweight division.
There's too much money involved.
Yeah,
too much money involved. If you're Tyson Fury's manager, or if you're Usyk's manager, for example, would you want him to fight Tyson Fury?
but that's the fight everyone wants. And if you want to be the best and known as the best, then you take that fight.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis didn't dodge anybody. Mike Tyson never dodged anybody. Evander Holyfield never dodged anybody. You know, all those greats would fight the best.
Yeah.
And they just won't do it anymore.
No. It's the same reason that movie producers don't make original films anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
They're worried about losing money.
Yeah.
If you're Usyk's manager, would you put him in a ring with Tyson Fury?
If I was Usyk's manager and Usyk wanted it, then yeah, I would.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
But do they want it? That's the question. Because it's easy to come out on TV, a press conference, and say, "Yeah, I'll fight him, but he doesn't want it. Yeah, I'll fight him, but he doesn't want it."
Yeah, none of them.
Together.
Yeah, none of them want it. None of them want it. All their representatives, they don't want it. The fighter themselves, Tyson Fury might actually want to fight Usyk. Usyk might want to fight Fury, but their representation don't want nothing to do with it. Because if you're Tyson Fury's man, and let's say he gets decked by Usyk, suddenly the cash cow that is Tyson Fury isn't worth anything.
No.
And it's the same as Usyk. If Usyk gets knocked the fuck out by Tyson Fury, suddenly the cash cow that is Usyk isn't generating the money that it wants. So they dodge each other. They keep the big fights away because it ruins the facade. It ruins the legend that is Tyson Fury. It ruins the legend that is Usyk. They're not worth that money anymore. It's like
the legend get ruined anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're so scared to do it now. Boxing's a joke. You know, the old heavyweights would fight the other good heavyweights. That's how it was.
Yeah, this is how it was. You know, you look at. I know he's not a good heavyweight as such. I wouldn't fight him, but he's not a good heavyweight. Derek Chisora, he'd fight anybody.
Yeah, he would.
Then he knew he'd probably lose against some of them, but he'd still have a bash. Dillian White, not the greatest heavyweight, but he'd fight anyone.
Yeah,
because they're not holding a belt. They're not mega money like Fury and Usyk and even AJ. I still don't understand how he commands the money he does. But it's just a joke. It's an absolute joke of a division.
Yeah, AJ's done a lot of good. He's done a lot of good for boxing. But then he's also done a lot of bad. Yeah. You know, the last few years, his career has nosedived for one reason or another, and he has exposed himself. In the ring against other better fighters. You know, but it's there's just too much money involved. Too much. It's the way sport is. The way all sports going. There's too much money involved. People don't get what they want. They get ignored largely. You know, so it's a shame. Paul, you should review Keo beer. Have I not reviewed Keo beer? I'm Cyprus. I love Cyprus. Going in September, even the cars out there got Keo all over them. Get it in Morrison's. I'm sure I've reviewed Keo.
I don't think it's very good.
No, I
It
don't.
might be right out there in the heat, in the moment, in Cyprus, having a pint of Keo in the
Oh,
nice hot temperatures. But
I'm going to double check it because I'm sure I've done Keo. I'm sure I have. Ooh.
I don't recall you reviewing Keo. You probably have, but I don't watch all your videos, to be fair. But I don't remember seeing you pop up with the
I
Keo.
wouldn't watch my videos either, to be fair. No, apparently I've not reviewed Keo. Okay, that's interesting. Perhaps I do need to review it. Keo. I will do it. I will grab a bottle. That's the one with the yellow label, isn't it?
Yeah.
Keo. Yeah, I'll have a look. I'll have a look, see if it's any good. I will have a look. It won't be as good as this, though. Bosh. Oh. Down the hatch. Down the hatch. Right.
Down the hatch.
It's 5 past. I was just looking at the numbers. They're drifting. People are going to bed. No, I've not done Keo. You're right. I've not done Keo. I haven't done it. I just looked up and I thought, no, you're right. I haven't done it. I've done so many beers over the 4 or 5 years or so that I've been doing this channel, and you lose track. You lose track of what you've done and what you haven't done. And I do like to try and do all of the big ones that are readily available and let people know my opinion. But it has got to that point now where I've done most of them, so I'm having to do the craftier side of things and international beers and things like that just to keep me interested. Really, that's yeah, it gets tricky, doesn't it? When you're reviewing beers, you kind of got to think, right, there's one side of you that wants to do videos that you think people will watch.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side where you got to think, okay, well, but do I really want to drink it?
Yeah.
So I had someone mention Corona. They do a non-alcoholic version now.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm like, could Corona get any worse? Do I really want to review a non-alcoholic version of Corona? You know?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking if there's a non-alcoholic product that will do well, it was either Guinness or Corona. But yeah, I really don't want to drink that beer.
No.
I feel sorry for anyone with a holiday booked to Rhodes. All those crazy wildfires. Yeah, it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Properly bad.
The heat out there at the minute is pretty horrendous, isn't it?
It's insane, and it all seems to be ducking us, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
We had a booking at the brewery. We had a party for a woman who's just become a doctor, and they had a steel band.
Oh, wow.
They booked the garden, right? So it was pissing it down all day yesterday when it was properly miserable. It rained all day. They're out in the garden, right, with a tent over them, playing the steel band. It sounded amazing. They sounded absolutely fantastic. But you just like around them was grey skies, rain. It was just like the irony was incredible. Like all it needed was a bit of sun, a cocktail, some ladies dancing would have been perfect. Instead, they were on a farm in Hertfordshire in the pissing rain. It was just, I felt so bad for them, but they loved it. They had a great time, bless them. But yeah, I was in Bulgaria. I was in Bulgaria the week before, and it was like 36 degrees.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, just sitting there sweating, just having to drink beer to stay hydrated. It was ridiculous. And then I flew back to Luton, and it was literally 16 degrees. It was like less than half of the temperature.
Oh, no.
And it's barely got above that in the week since. It's been bloody horrible, really.
Allegedly, we're in for quite a hot August. Well,
I hope so.
I hope so. Because I'm thinking August ain't that far away, really. It's
literally next week.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see it. Today's been quite a nice day.
Today's been it's been dry today, but I think it got us about 20, 21 degrees. But it is amazing. It's like the heat is kind of drifted across. It's hit the UK and gone way gone under us. Just completely ducked the UK.
Yeah, there's the UK. No, fuck them.
Yeah.
We'll go round.
But it was funny because I mean, this time last year everything was singed, wasn't it?
That was ripping this
Yeah.
time last year.
We had a couple of days where it did over 40, didn't we?
No, we did, yeah.
It
I was
went
away.
mad.
Yeah, we were on holiday, camping, and the heat was like the hottest week of the year.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. I mean, I
Yeah.
loved it. I absolutely loved the heat. So I am hoping August is going to be a hot one.
Yeah, we need some proper dry weather now. I think it's otherwise this summer's going to be a bit of a disaster. June was quite nice.
Yeah, June had some good moments.
Yeah, but July's been a bit of a joke. So we could do with a warm, settled August really, just to kind of balance things out. But it's typical. It's the kids are broken up now, haven't they? The kids are out of school, so it started raining.
Yeah, as you know, I was in Devon last week, and we did 10 days down in Devon. We had some glorious days, but my God, did we have some bad weather? We had over 50-mile-an-hour winds at some point. You know, it was horrendous, some of the weather we had down there. Then we did have 4 or 5 days of good weather, but yeah, we need a nice run of sensible heat would be nice. A good few weeks of it.
It would be nice. I think it was nice and warm for the beer festivals last year. GBBF it was warm. London Craft Beer Festival it was nice and warm. And this at the moment it's not cold. It's like sort of late 20s, early 20s, late teens, early 20s, but it's just the rain. Just really annoying.
Relentless.
Joel says it's David says, tell you what's a good beer to review. Rick Stein's Chalky Beer. Well nice, about 6.5. Can only get it at his restaurants. Oh, well, that's me out there.
Yeah.
Rick Stein's restaurant. Goodness me.
52 in China.
God, is that real?
Well, that's hot.
Oh, it's like Death Valley.
Things have got to be melting in that heat.
I thought Death Valley was meant to be the hottest temperature ever recorded, and that was around that, like 53 degrees or something. So it was around that kind of temperature. So it's 53 degrees in Death Valley. They recorded once, and it was nothing could live in those temperatures. Mental. Simo, hello, son.
Oh.
How are you, mate? Simo, how are you, sir? Thank you for joining us. How's life? How's life treating you? Those Rick Stein beers originally came out as a pair, Chalky's Bite and Chalky's Bark. Can't remember which one is still available. Both produced by St. Austell. That would make sense.
That would make sense, yeah.
That would make sense.
Chalky's his dog, isn't it? Well, Chalky was his dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had a dog called Chalky.
Yeah. Chalky the dog. Nice. 52.2 degrees in China. Apparently, they're treating people for 3-degree burns. Bloody hell. That's horrific. You just wouldn't go outside, would you? Full stop.
No, you couldn't, could you?
Why would you? Makes no sense. Cook an egg on the street. Just get a really long spatula to drag it back in, right?
It's like put your eggs and bacon out onto the street.
Yeah, you want your breakfast, but you ain't going how to get it. Long spatula. A piece of bread ready for it. Henry saying hello to Simo. We got 10 of us in. I feel like the chat is just starting to dry up, and I'm not sure if I want another beer. I might have another beer. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to have another beer. I'm tempted. Do I have another one? Do I have another one? Have one more. Have one more. Have one more. Oh, do you know what I might have? I've got this bad boy. I have to change my glass for this one. I'm going to go for a stout.
Stout.
So this is from Three Hills Brewing.
Ooh.
And it is a milk chocolate peanut butter cup pastry stout.
Ooh.
And it is their BPAVK. I mean, you can't see it. I don't know why I bother doing that.
That's going to be banging.
I hope so.
I bet that was coming up to 10 quid a can, wasn't it?
I don't think it was that expensive actually, because it's their core stout, but they've added peanut butter to it. It's only a 6% this one,
Oh, is it?
so it's not an MP. But I do love a peanut.
Some of their PB, whatever it's called, get up to sort of 8-10 quid. I bet it's still going to be banging.
Oh,
It's going to be a banging stout.
that smells beautiful. It looks peanut buttery. The noisiest pour in the world. Give it a wriggle. Every sip of that. Oof. He tells us 6%. It's actually developed a bit of a head. And
That's going to be good.
it's got
It's going to be a good one.
that has got an amazing aroma.
Mm.
That has got a lovely aroma. BPAVK it's called. Milk chocolate peanut butter cup pastry stout from Three Hills. So this time around we tweaked our session stout with a lactose addition for an increased body and fuller flavour. Roasted peanut butter, silky caramel flavours elevate our base stout to the next level. Oof. It smells terrific. I mean, that is, goodness me, that is full on peanut butter. Peanut butter and a bit of coffee.
Nice.
Stuck in, John. Cheers. Mm. There's a bit of an odd sweetness to it. What's that weird sweetness? Peanut butter's not coming through enough.
That's a shame. I thought that'd be a belter.
Nah, that's not very good. Never mind.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That'd be really good. Some of their pastry stuff has been outstanding.
Yeah. It's too light. It's too sweet. There's not enough roastiness to it. I'm not even getting. It's not even a particularly good stout. Yeah. Bollocks. You win some, you lose some. Win some, you lose some. Never mind.
Should I open this Impy?
Oh, is that the Irish one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted that. I need to get around to booking one, buying one. Yeah, man, do it. I've heard good things. Excuse me.
Yeah, I never bought it. They sent me it.
Yeah, do it, man.
It's called Jones's Locker Barrel Aged Imperial, coming in at 13%. Brewed with a range of specialty heritage malts and aged in Irish whiskey casks for over a year. Under
Oh,
the malty depths.
filth.
It's my birthday. It'd be rude not to.
Yeah, man. You gotta have a big beer on your birthday.
Not to. Let's have a clean glass. This is the third glass I'm now using. Let's get on with it.
James Bruce, how are you, mate? Thank you for joining us. He's a runner. There's a picture of him running. Can't remember the last time I ran. Probably to a bar or something for last orders. It looks lively.
It's very, very fizzy.
13%. I weren't expecting that. really annoying. The aroma on this is great, but doesn't back up by the flavour at all.
On that is immense. The aromas coming off this are incredible.
I can imagine.
I've not even stuck my nose near it. The whiskey cask is immense. Oaky, whiskey, woody, bit creamy. Oh, that smells like actually smells like a fine whiskey.
Oh, nice. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Yeah, those barrels, whiskey barrels, massive. Let's have head's gone. Let's have a taste.
Good.
That's remarkably thin for 13%.
Oh, really?
I was expecting it to be quite oily, but it isn't. They sent me quite a few beers, Lacada. And unfortunately, like you could sell, that's not particularly good.
Both got disappointing stouts.
The same with yours. It's got a great aroma, but it is lit down. The body's it's so thin for 13%.
It shouldn't be possible.
It's got a warmth to it, but it's a whiskey warmth.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. How long did it say this was in whiskey barrels for? Irish whiskey casks for over a year. And that's what you pick up on it. It's malty and whiskey like.
Yeah.
There's not much else coming through.
It's a shame, isn't it? I reckon a lot of breweries do play on that. It's like, we chucked it in a whiskey cask. We knew he wouldn't do anything, but we're going to sell it to you at a premium anyway.
Yeah.
I want to go for a quick Jimmy. Be right back. Quick piss.
Go for a quick piss. Hello. I'm on the screen on my own. Yeah, that's a bit disappointing. That is a little bit disappointing. So, I mean, it's a strange one because I did go off impy stouts. I just found them too thick and too oily, and I kind of went off it. So to get an impy stout that doesn't have that oily, big kind of oily thickness is normally okay with me, but it just lacks a bit of depth. It's just all whiskey. It's whiskey, it's a bit smoky and a bit malty. Not much else going on with that. I don't know how many comments there are. I don't know where Paul was at the comments because I'm using my mobile phone and I don't really know how to look at the comments, so I won't do that. But I will tell you about my day. So it is my birthday and I love cooking on barbecues. I do all sorts of amazing foods on the barbecues. My wife bought me a rotisserie kit for my Weber barbecue. So I did an amazing rotisserie chicken today. Chucked in some wood before getting a smoke effect as well. Glorious. Actually juicy chicken. Go over to my channel and there's a little short I did of my rotisserie chickens. Go to Chris's beer reviews. Not now. Another day. Not while we're watching the stream. And have a look and you'll see my rotisserie chicken. And it's another one of my passions is barbecuing. Or in America they call it grilling. I do some amazing foods. And I have been tempted to do videos of it, but my channel is called Chris's Beer Reviews. So I don't know how well it'd go down doing some of the amazing foods I do on a barbecue. Would people really watch it? Would people want to watch it? Let me know in the comments. Not that I can see the comments unless I press the chat button, but then I can't see the screen. It's just covered with comments. Is that sort of thing people would watch? They watch it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should do it, but it is a passion. And Paul sampled some of my barbecue food, so I have been tempted to do barbecue videos, but I'm just not sure people would want to see it on a beer review channel. So if there are people in here still watching, I don't know how many there are. Let me know what you think.
It would be interesting, but it's like we were saying earlier. You know, like when you're really into something, do you want to video it?
Yeah.
Does that take something from it? Yeah.
And that's the thing. To do a video of, for example, I do a slow cooked shoulder of lamb with anchovies and capers and other herbs, and that's a long cook. That takes a while. So to film all of that would also take a lot of time and probably a lot of editing, which I'm not a big fan of editing. I don't do it. I do all my videos in one take. So it could take some of the enjoyment away from me because I'm thinking about more producing a video rather than enjoying doing the cooking. So yeah, they're not quick videos. So that's why I think that's probably is why I've never done it, because they're just not going to be quick videos. They're going to take time. They're going to take editing, and I don't have the skill for it, or the time or patience. I've got the time and the patience to do the cooking, but then add in on top of filming it and getting the tripod out, getting the camera pointing at the meat or whatever. I know. I'm just not sure if I could be bothered. But if enough people wanted to see it, I'd give it a go. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know if people find the time.
No,
I really don't, to do stuff like that. It's bad enough doing beer reviews. It's only like 8-9 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's actually when you get home, can you be bothered to sit in front of a camera and talk about a beer for 9-10 minutes? You know, it is. But you never. That's why I put the cans behind me of really good beers. Otherwise, I'd forget.
Yeah.
Because the only good beers I really remember are the ones where I'm out and about with people, drinking with people, talking with people. They're the beers I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
And I've said that before on this channel. People have asked, what's your favourite beer? And I'm like, don't know. And I usually reference back to the last one that I had on a good day out.
Yeah.
You know, they're the best beers.
Yeah, they are.
When you're enjoying it with good company, having a good laugh, having a good chat. You know, I drink a lot of beers in this room, and I do have some incredible beers. And like I say, they compile themselves behind me.
Yeah.
But I don't remember them. Otherwise, I would totally forget if not for the fact that I keep the cans. But I say the best ones that you have when you're out, experience it, living it with good company, having fun. They're the best beers you have. And it's the same with food.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't drink that. I can't drink that.
Yeah, I am actually. I will finish this beer, but I can't wait to finish it. Do you know what I mean? I'm actually disappointed, but here's what it is. You know.
I'm going to open another beer just because it's still my birthday.
Yeah.
You've got a beer going, so I'll open another one, but I can't finish that in peak. It's too whiskey barrely tasting with a load of malt in it. It's a bit odd.
Yeah. Hey, best of having a beer that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. Just like in life, you can taste the best beer / food with the right mindset and company. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in France earlier in the year, and I had some of the best food I've ever eaten in my life.
You will do in France.
Oh, couldn't believe it. Yeah, I thought it was just a myth. But but I went to some cracking restaurants where I was in. I mean, this was just Lille. I mean, Lille, we're talking northwest of France. You don't get much closer to us than Lille, really.
Yeah.
And we went there, and we went to some cracking restaurants, and the food was extraordinary.
Oh, it is.
What I was eating, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. And I thought it was just a myth that the French do food well, but no, they know what they're doing.
They do. They are. I've spent a lot of time in France. Certainly, a lot of time in the south of France, and yeah, they've got it nailed on.
Hmm.
Absolutely nailed on. They do food. They can do wine. Their beer's a bit sketchy,
Yeah.
but there are, like I think you said not long ago or an hour or so ago, whenever, there are some French craft breweries that have got some good stuff going on, but they're few and far between.
Yeah.
Considering how big France is, they're few and far between on the beer, but their food and wine and cheeses and yeah, the
Oh, the
French
cheese, man. French cheese is the nut.
just nail
Oh,
it.
so good. It is so good. But yeah, you try and kind of redo it over here. You get like a baguette and a decent brie or something, and you don't get close.
No,
You don't get close. One thing I will say about French food, very dairy heavy.
they do a lot of dairy heavy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're kind of dairy intolerant, then you're kind of screwed.
What I love in France, and no matter whether you're in north, mid, south of France, there's loads of boulangeries where you can just go and buy fresh bread, and that's all they sell is bread of different
Oh God.
styles and types, and
Yeah.
it's just lush. And you can go in at numerous times of the day, and it's still going to be warm because they're just constantly baking it, and
Yeah.
you just don't get that type of quality here. You just don't. And you go and get a lovely bit of brie or roquefort or whatever in France, walk into a boulangerie, pick up a baguette that's still warm, and just slap it on the bread. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Just
It
and
is.
you can't, like I say, you can't recreate it over here.
But they give you bread for everything, don't they?
Yeah.
They give you bread for everything. Like packet of fags, yeah, there's a baguette. Enjoy.
Exactly. Bread with everything.
It was though. Every meal I ate, they brought out a plate of bread, just sliced that baguette. Like I didn't order it. And I'm like, you just get it. You just get fucking bread. So it goes.
Yeah.
But it was delicious. It was delicious.
Have some bread with your bread. It's just, yeah, they love it. But it's good. It's banging. They just, yeah, they nail food. The French nail food.
Oh, it was incredible. The stuff I was eating was absolutely delicious, and I love dairy, so I was lucky in that sense. But every meal I had, we went into some like crappy bar. It was like a gaming bar, and in terms of the bar and the beer, it was probably the most forgettable night I had. But I had a pitcher. I had their own brewed wheat beer, and I liked it. And I thought, rather than going up and downstairs and trying to talk French to the guy to order a beer, I just went, sod it, I'm going to order a pitcher of beer. Yeah. And all the French lads were just looking at me like, oh, sacre bleu. It's a big Englishman drinking all the beer. So I had a pitcher. For rather than me keep going down to the bar, I drank a pitcher of this beer. And they did like a platter. So you had bread, cheese, meat. Oh, I was in my element, man. I was like properly in my element. This is amazing. I'm drinking beer, eating really good smoked meats, really good cheese, and really good bread. It was awesome. You get nothing like that round here. Nothing like that.
No, and I love platters. And I try and kind of recreate that at home because I like picky food. Just lots of different little bits. I prefer that's what I love the most is picky food, and the French are great at that. Like you say, go on, just order a platter of smoked meats and breads and cheeses, pickles and whatever, and just picking little bits. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love the food in France. I need to go back.
Yeah. Well, the lady that was hosting us, she's coming to us this weekend, so you should meet her actually. I think she's coming to GBF with us. And we're like, yeah, we got a host. And it's like, our food's shit.
Yeah.
So it's like the places I'm going to take her are all going to be like, it's not going to be British cuisine. Unless it's fish and chips, it's like, what else do we do? We don't really do anything very well,
There is a French restaurant in Dunstable.
I've heard this, and I've heard it's very good as well.
I've never been there. I keep meaning to go there. I don't know why I've never been there. But it's been there years. It's called something Jerome. It's been there years, absolute years, and it's still there. So it obviously is good.
Yeah,
And the chef is French.
yeah.
So yeah, I
Of
don't know,
all
but
the-
maybe she wouldn't want to go to a French
No,
restaurant.
maybe not. Maybe she wouldn't. No, I mean, I think we're planning. My favorite restaurant in the world is Bodine's, which is an American barbecue joint. If you don't know, and they got restaurants. They got about 3 restaurants in London. And the one I go to is in Soho. It's just off Oxford Street, and it's a bit of me. Like they just have sports on the telly, cold American beer, and like marinated barbecued meat,
Oh, lush.
and it's just incredible, just incredible.
Yeah.
And I've been there quite a number of times over the years, and every time I go there, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
amazing. So yeah, so all the places we're going are like nothing to do with English cuisine, you know. It's because English food, as much as it's all right, at the same time, there's nothing great about it.
No, but when you look at it, what is English food realistically?
Yeah,
A roast dinner, a
yeah,
fryer,
a Sunday roast, a full English,
a pie.
a pie. Yeah, yeah, good point. Steak pie.
Yeah.
It is. We don't have nothing, do we? We have dishes, but
No,
we don't have. I don't know. There's no sort of royalty that comes with our food, is there? Really?
no. You can
We
go
win-
to a really nice pub, but it's just you go to a really good pub around here, and there are some good pubs around here that do really good food, but it's still going to be roast related or a pie related,
Yeah,
you know. And you just think for a French person, that's just like the fuck is that?
yeah, exactly. Like meat in a pastry. Yeah, what this is? No, it's
It's a
yeah,
steak and Guinness pie. Have some of that, love.
yeah, steak and our pie and a pint of London Pride. Have that. Shut up. Yeah. But yeah, she spoiled us. The places we went, she spoiled us, and we're a little bit like, where do we take her? Where do we take her? Where do we take her to eat? You know, it's tricky. It is really tricky.
Bring her around here. I'll do some barbecue.
But do some barbecue. That sounds like a good shout. But do some barbecue. Bill says
Yeah.
jelly deals, mate. I can't give her jelly deals. She'd never talk to us ever again.
Oh, jelly deals. I can't. I've never had jelly deals. I look at them and just think, no, you're right.
So I do. I love a Sunday roast. Sunday roast is one of the best dinners in the world.
Oh, it is one of the best dinners. I absolutely agree, especially roast beef.
Oh, mate, yeah, roast beef Yorkshire pudding. Oh,
Oh,
roast potato, carrots, bit of swede. I like a little bit of swede.
yeah, I'm on a bit sweet.
Roast
Yeah.
parsnips. I like roast parsnips. Underrated. Underrated.
Yeah, roast parsnips. Cooked with a bit of honey on them as well. Salt, pepper, honey.
Oh, now you're talking. Now you're
Yeah.
talking. There's not enough people that appreciate a good parsnip.
No, they're great.
Underrated. Underrated veg.
Yeah, it is. Salt and pepper and honey on a roast parsnip. My God.
Ooh, bit of class, mate. That they usually come out at Christmas. They're a bit special. Roast parsnip. I like a parsnip at Christmas.
Well, feck that. What you fecking, Mark?
The jelly deals.
Oh, yeah, jelly deals. Fuck jelly deals.
Jelly deals, mate. They're West Ham fans. They got a lot to answer for. Bloody jelly deals. Madness. Proper Yorkshire puddings for starter. Thick and stodgy. Proper Yorkshire. Love it. I love how like a traditional Yorkshire puddings, they're huge. Like, I've had a roast dinner in a pub where the Yorkshire pud took up the whole plate and all of the meat and the veg was essentially inside the Yorkshire pudding. So the Yorkshire pudding was essentially the base for the roast dinner. I mean, that is the strength of a Yorkshire pud right there. Grant says UK food, good quality fish, seafood, Hampshire, Jersey Royal. Oh yeah, mate, Jersey Royal potatoes. Yeah, Kentish apples. Yes. Do you know what? I'm not knocking British food. Of course, I'm not. I grew up on it. But it's our veg, isn't it? It's our raw ingredients that make us, isn't it? It's our veg, it's our fruit, it's our meat. British meat, can't beat it. British meat. All these people going out buying all these meat from all over the world. They don't need to. Don't need to. British meat.
We do good meat. We do. Yeah, we really do good meat in this country.
Do you go to the butchers in Houghton Regis, or have you got one closer to you?
Do you know, I've never been to that one in Houghton, but I've heard so many good things about it that
It
I
looks
probably should.
awesome.
Yeah, I've heard some incredible things about that butchers, and you can go in there with. Apparently, you can go in there with obscure requests with different styles of meat or different cuts of meat, and they get it
Different
for
cuts,
you.
yeah.
So yeah, I do need to go in there, especially as I do a lot of barbecue cooking a lot of meat. So I absolutely should go and support them.
Yeah, I'd need to go in there. You can't beat good local butchers meat. You can't.
No.
I mean, at Costco, I've had some good stuff from Costco lately, but then
Costco
I've also had some bad stuff from Costco. So it's
Oh, really?
you're kind of stuffed. So it's I really want to smoke some ribs.
Yeah,
And
smoke ribs are you forward, mate.
I
We'll do
bought,
that. We can do.
we'll do it. I'll do smoke some ribs. Smoke some ribs.
Yeah.
Get that down me. Mark Jones, bottle ball, asparagus. The French love ours, and we don't eat enough. Asparagus, for me, that's just massively overrated.
Mind it. I don't mind asparagus, but I agree. I think it is overrated. But I enjoy it,
Yeah,
but it is overrated. It is definitely overrated.
it is massively. I don't know why there's such a thing about asparagus. It is just again, unless it's covered in butter. You know,
Butter and bacon.
oh,
It's great.
bacon.
Yeah, asparagus, little bits of crispy bacon and butter, salt and pepper. Very nice.
Ooh, so that's brought a whole new dimension to asparagus there, chucking it in with bacon.
Smoked bacon. Oh,
Bacon's good with anything, though, isn't it? Really, bacon and beer, bacon and asparagus, bacon and
bacon for breakfast.
bacon and air. That's good. That's pretty good. Bacon's just awesome. Pigs are great. They taste great. They're kind of cute.
Oh, incredible. I love pigs. One of my most favourite animals. I
They're
love them.
delicious.
I also
Yeah.
love eating them.
Yeah. That's the thing. I feel bad because cows are kind of cute. Cows are kind of nice. They're daft. They come and say hello like if they're thinking you're going to eat them. But they taste delicious.
Yeah, they do.
And milk and cow juice is delicious. You know, milk is great. You didn't, you're not gonna cover your Weetabix with red wine in the morning, are you? You know, the cows are good for that as well. But they're cute. But they're delicious. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Paul, you said you had a bunch of criminals in your pub. You're a criminal supporting Tottenham. Yeah, it is pretty criminal supporting Spurs. To be fair, me and Chris are both guilty of that. Yeah, it's I don't know. With football, it's exciting at the moment because we're not really sure what to expect this season.
No, I'm
Really?
trying to embrace Postecoglou. I'm trying to embrace it.
Yeah, that's the football's been so depressing.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, it's been so boring. It's just like, what's the point if you can't be entertained? Or what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, because we're not going to win anything. So at least we can win nothing by playing good football. At least, you know. So yeah, I hope Postecoglou gets time, but I think there's going to be some. Do you know what I would say? If you're just a neutral football fan, watch Spurs this season because it will be weird. It will be. We'll score a lot of goals, but I reckon we're going to concede a lot of goals as well. I think Spurs will be the team to watch this season. I really do. I think it's going to be mad at
It
top
will be.
this season.
So we haven't had this conversation because we haven't met up for a while. Is Kane staying? Going? What do you reckon?
I don't really care.
No.
I'd like him to stay, of course I would, but if he's been flirting with Bayern Munich, he can fuck off. You know?
And I look at that and I think, what are you going to gain if you're Harry Kane going to Bayern Munich?
Yeah.
You might win the domestic league, but that's it.
Yep.
And that's not the best league in the world.
Not even close.
Like Bayern Munich in the Champions League, if you're lucky, they might get to the semis, probably quarters. So all he's going to win over there is their domestic league.
Yeah.
So
So
what's the point?
he'll win the Bundesliga, which will be, probably like Bayern Munich's 14th league title in 15 years or something.
Yeah.
Is that more prestigious than being the Premier League's all-time greatest goal scorer?
No.
I don't think. I don't think so.
No.
He literally needs. I think he's 40. He's like 43 goals off of Alan Shearer's record.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So he could become the Premier League's all-time greatest goal scorer by Christmas next year.
Yeah.
If he wanted to. If he stuck with Spurs, he could be one of the all-time greats. So when you think about Alan Shearer, what do you remember him for?
Not a lot, other than being the all-time record goal scorer in the Premier League.
Exactly. No one remembers the fact that he won the Premier League with Blackburn Rovers, do they?
No one does.
No one remembers that. Everyone remembers Alan Shearer for being a prolific goal scorer. He's a legend for what he achieved personally. Him winning the Premier League with Blackburn Rovers didn't mean shit. They're in the Championship and they ain't got a pot to piss in.
No.
So Harry Kane could go to Bayern Munich, win a Bundesliga. No one will care.
No
He
one
stays
gives a shit.
Spurs, he can become the greatest striker the Premier League has ever seen.
Yeah.
Ever seen. He's already a Tottenham legend. He's already our greatest ever goal scorer.
Yeah.
But he's become the Premier League's greatest goal scorer.
Yeah.
What is internationally regarded the best football league in the world, Harry Kane could be the greatest striker to ever played in it.
Yeah.
So you can stick your Wayne Rooneys and your Alan Shearers and your Thierry Henrys up your arse. Harry Kane pisses all over all of them. And I believe that already.
Yeah.
If he just stays for another couple of seasons at Tottenham, signs a new deal, he will concrete that.
Yeah, he will.
Or he can go to Germany and get a cheap trophy. And it's a crap trophy anyway. It's a plate.
Yeah.
The Bundesliga title was literally a plate that I would serve beer on. Pathetic.
Yeah. And you look at, the season just gone, which was a woeful season for Spurs. Yet Harry Kane wasn't that far behind Haaland in terms of goals scored.
Yeah.
Playing in an absolutely shite Spurs team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'd like to see him stay at Spurs. If he goes, he goes.
If he wants to go and win a title, yeah, there's not many better clubs to go to. I wouldn't begrudge Harry Kane if he wanted to go at all.
No, of course not.
No, if anyone deserves a move, it's him.
Yeah,
he deserves it. But I just think, bigger picture, no one will care.
No.
Years down the line, no one will care that he went to Germany and won a Bundesliga. No. If he stayed at Spurs, he could be the greatest Premier League striker of all time.
Because to UK people or English people, the Premier League is like the Holy Grail. It is the best league in the world.
They all say it.
You look at Gareth Bale. What Gareth Bale achieved at Real Madrid was phenomenal. But no one talks about Gareth Bale. No one talks about the achievements of him scoring goals in Champions League finals. No one gives a fuck.
No.
Because it's not Premier League.
Yeah. Real Madrid fans hated him.
Yeah, they did towards the end. They absolutely hated every part of him.
Yeah.
Yet he won them Champions League on a couple of occasions.
Yeah.
But they hated him.
They couldn't give a monkeys. They've seen it all before. Real Madrid. They've seen it all before. They've had great players. They have great players there all the time.
Yeah.
They've seen it all before. Like Vinicius Junior that they've got there now. He's awesome. That guy, awesome footballer. He's actually underrated for me. Vinicius Junior, absolute class. He's underrated because he's not a name. Because he's Brazilian. Probably because he's black. Let's be honest.
Probably.
Let's be honest, the media are biased. They're racist.
Yeah, they are up
I
there.
think it's because it's where he's from. He's underrated. He's an incredible player, Vinicius Junior. Incredible. But yeah, Harry Kane, he deserves more, I think, than a Bundesliga title.
Hmm.
I wouldn't begrudge it. Like I say, I'd rather we sold him to Bayern Munich than Man United, for example.
Yeah.
But if he's going to go to Manchester, he wouldn't go to Man United because they're not going to win anything.
No.
You know, but at least they're not guaranteed to win anything. You know,
No.
so it's
City aren't interested in him.
yeah. City got Haaland; they don't need him.
No.
Chelsea finished below us last season.
Yeah, I think as much as I'm a Pochettino fan, I don't think Chelsea are going to do anything this season either.
I think they'll destroy him.
Yeah.
Chelsea will destroy Pochettino.
Yeah, I think so. They
They're
destroy most managers.
Yeah, they're one of them clubs who have bought everything they've ever achieved, and they feel like now they're entitled to it. They won't give Pochettino. They won't give Pochettino the time. I don't think.
Chelsea need to do an Arsenal, like they gave Arteta time,
Yeah,
but Chelsea won't do it. They will not give Pochettino time.
no, they won't.
So he'll be gone. He'll be gone by probably Christmas.
Yeah, it's weird, Pochettino. That I'm still getting my head around the fact that Poch is a Chelsea manager. I still find it very, very weird.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's really damaged his reputation in my eyes. Anyway,
I think so.
Yeah, he's kind of dead to me now. It's weird.
If Chelsea give him a couple of seasons to build a team, he'll be successful. But Chelsea are not going to give him that time.
No, but they need success yesterday.
Yeah.
And the owner they've got in now is a nutter. He's an American guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Don't know what he's doing. So
No.
yeah, it's very odd. Very odd. But yeah, no, it's be interesting to see what happens. But whatever happens, you know, Harry Kane is a legend. One of the best footballers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I wish him nothing but the best. But I still think, and that's probably with my biased Spurs opinion, I still think he'd be better off staying at Spurs.
I think he would be.
I really do. I think if he gave us 1 year just to see what happens under Postecoglou, and if he can go for free next year if he wants, as far as I'm concerned, I won't see any of the money if Harry Kane goes. I don't care.
No.
But he can go for free for next year, but he won't go to Arsenal. He won't go to Chelsea. He's not a Sol Campbell. He's not a weirdo.
Yeah. No, I think the best thing he could do is now, the loyalty he's given to Spurs, I do think the best he could do now
see out his contract.
is see out his contract and go for Alan Shearer's record.
Yeah.
That would be my goal if I was him. I'd think, right, I've won sod all with Spurs. I'm getting on in age. I might as well go for Premier League outright goal scorer and be the best ever goal scorer in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Because that's an accolade.
It is. And it probably will never be beaten. Probably won't be beaten in my lifetime. I doubt it anyway.
He's never going to get a trophy for it. But to be that person that sticks in history for years, like Shearer has,
yeah,
that's an amazing achievement.
Yeah, OB, yeah, no, I agree. We need them defenders. It's actually a little bit concerning that we haven't done that deal yet.
Yeah,
because we're supposedly after Tapsoba from Bayer Leverkusen, who's very good, very, very good defender. And I heard that we've agreed personal terms with him weeks ago. So we either pay the money that the club want or move on. And the other one is Dutch lad, plays for Wolfsburg. I forgot his name.
Van der Veen or something like that.
That's it. You got it in one. Van der Ven. Another one. Left-footed centre half. Plays up for Tongan. Reminds me of Jan Vertonghen, who was an immense defender. I would sign both of them. I would try and sign both of them. If we're not actively trying to sign both of them, there's something wrong there. because we cannot go into next season with the same defenders that we got. Because Eric Dyer is done.
Yeah.
He's done. Ben Davies is done. Davinson Sanchez is done. They are not good defenders. Romero needs someone who's got a level head next to him because he could be a fantastic defender, but he's a psychopath. So he needs someone level-headed next to him. He really does. But yeah, I think Spurs need to sign at least 2 centre halves this summer. And if we don't, we could be in trouble if we don't.
And if Postecoglou likes playing fast, attacking football, boy, have you got to have some good people at the back because you're going to get done on the counter.
Oh, God, yeah.
So
God, yeah.
you've got to have great people at the back. That's why when you said a few minutes ago, we might score a lot of goals next season, but boy, are they going to concede a few.
Yeah. I think there's going to be some crazy high-scoring games at Spurs this year. We got Brentford away, first game of the season, and then we got Man United at home straight after. That game could be like 5-4.
Yeah,
it could be like an absolute end-to-end game. It could be like a basketball match. That one,
yeah,
it really could. Because I think Ten Hag is doing a decent job at United at the moment, but
he is, and that's the thing. Man United are giving him time.
Yeah,
and he's slowly putting together, isn't he, the team?
Yeah, that's it. It'll be City. I think City are dominant. They're going to be dominant for a long time to come. I don't think Newcastle are going to do much this year. I really don't. I think European football will hurt them this year. I think they'll struggle with it. Same goes for Arsenal, to be honest with you. We know they're bottle jobs, and they'll probably do the same thing this year. I think Declan Rice is ridiculous. The money they've spent on him.
I agree.
He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a very good footballer, but they've essentially spent £105 million on Gareth Barry. Yeah. That's what they've done, and it's. I think surely they needed something a little bit more than that if they're going to get over the line and win the league title. So I'm not worried about Arsenal.
No, I agree. Declan Rice is a good player.
Yeah.
I think in a couple of years' time, he'll probably even better. But to spend 105 million on him,
it's obscene. That's obscene money.
Yeah.
That's English tax, that is.
Yeah.
If he's English, they pay he's a 50 million quid player.
Yeah.
All day long. When you think Spurs have just signed James Maddison for 40 million quid, do you know what I mean? That's a deal.
Yeah.
That's a deal. When you think of the goals and assists that man's mustered in the last couple of seasons, that's a hell of a deal. And we've not had a player like that since Christian Eriksen left.
No.
So that's a great signing. That one.
Yeah, that is. I'd agree with that, but yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of goals at Spurs this season.
Yeah, I
do.
Yeah, I think if you're a neutral football fan, watch Spurs games this season because you'll be in for a laugh. I think it would be mad. I really do. So Mark's a big Leeds fan, isn't he? Got rid of 7 players, only bought 1 in so far. Ampadu from Chelsea. He's meant to be quite good though, Ampadu. He's been on the books for a while. Van de Ven has incredible recovery speed. So I've seen bits of him because I do watch a bit of the Bundesliga, to be fair. And Wolfsburg have got the best kit in the league. That green Nike Volkswagen kit. Love their kit. He does look like Vertonghen. He plays like Vertonghen. He moves like Jan Vertonghen. He's just a big ball playing left-footed centre half. He does look good. Woolwich have massively overly spent. Yeah, I think the Declan Rice thing, they've had their pants pulled down on that one personally. Well and truly, he's a good player, but I mean, Jesus, if Arteta thinks that he is the missing part of the puzzle, then fine. If that's the money that it's cost to get him. But I mean, Jesus Christ, you're telling me you couldn't have got a better midfielder than Declan Rice for 100 million quid? Really?
If he was that good, City would have had him.
Yeah. They apparently they were interested, and then they pulled out when they found out what West Ham were asking. They were like, nah. when they got Rodri, remember now they got Rodri playing it. The man who scored the winning goal in the Champions League final. How much they pay for Rodri? Is it half that? 50 million?
Pennies, really.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's going to be a weird season. This one, it's very open. I'm not sure Liverpool have done much, really, have they?
No, they haven't done a great deal
this summer.
I think it could be Klopp's last season at Liverpool if they don't have a good season.
Yeah,
It'll be the end for Klopp.
It's the same thing that happened at Dortmund, didn't it? He did really well at Dortmund, and all of a sudden they nosedived and nearly relegated them.
Yeah.
Same thing sort of happened at Liverpool. I think they're just getting a bit fed up with his methods.
Yeah.
So it could be an interesting one at Liverpool this year. But yeah. Right. I'm going to polish off my beer. And then I think I'm going to knock this on you. We've done 3.5 hours.
That's quite amazing, actually.
That is quite amazing. I don't know where that's gone.
On a quick note, before we do disappear, have you ever met, I don't know if he's still in the chat, have you ever met Mark Jones?
I don't think so.
I'd like to have a beer with Mark Jones because he's always in the chats, isn't he, Mark Jones?
He is.
Always. And it seems like he's got a good sense of humour.
He seems a legend. I think the last time I went up to Lord's, well, second to last time I went up to Lord's, I went up to the bar before Christmas last year. Apparently he was in the bar earlier in the day and I missed him. But I think that's the closest I've got to actually meeting him.
Because I know there's always regulars in the chat, but Mark Jones is consistent. And he's not just on yours, he's on John's and Tom's and etc. He's been on mine. And I think that's quite incredible that people like Mark Jones consistently watch us. So I'd love to have a beer with Mark. If we ever meet up, I'll buy you a beer, Mark Jones, if you're still listening.
Yeah, absolutely. There he is. Look, he's in. The absolute set of legends. Both of you. Bless him. We love you, Mark. We love all of you. And yeah, I've got to go. I need a wee. And I'll finish my beer. I could do with some food. I don't even know what time it is. It's midnight. It's gone midnight. Should be in bed, all of you.
You've all got work tomorrow.
You've all got work tomorrow. Not me. Day off tomorrow. Yes. Boom. Right, Chris, thank you for joining me, mate.
Thank you. Been a pleasure.
Chris's beer reviews. Check out this lad. Check out his channel. Really, really good. He knows his stuff. And I do enjoy having a beer with the man. And you know who I am. The best beer reviewer in the world. Full stop. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. But yes, I love you all. Thank you for joining us. It's been fun. I'm a little bit pissed. Need some food. I will speak to you all soon. Take care of yourselves. And till the next one, you take care.